What is the name of that
Die
movie?
Hard!
Die Hard.
I am
Paul
so
Blart
mad!
Mall Cop is just Die Hard, but with Kevin James.
I am so mad!
I'm right. Change my mind.
Hi, welcome to Tablestop. This is a podcast where four best friends talk about board games, video games, and random stuff. I'm Dan.
I'm Ritter.
I'm Rainey.
And I'm Kyle.
Hi, guys.
Hey, what's up, Dan?
What's up? We did it.
We're here in your house yet again.
Perfectly.
Somehow we got here.
Oh,
This
way
is-
to ruin the movie magic that we're in Dan's house.
We're not in Dan's house. We're in your house, dear listener. We're making lasagnas in your kitchens.
We're in your
And
ear.
your car.
Is that what you mean like the sneaky fox?
The sneaky
Sneaks in your house, eats your lasagna, sits on your couch.
No, we're making the lasagna.
Isn't that Garfield?
Take a big sniff, listener. Smell that basil. I bought some fresh basil just for you.
Okay, all right. Here, let's go on this for just a second. So when you're making lasagna, do you use ricotta cheese as literally everyone in the world intended you to? Or do you use, what do you use? What's the thing that you sacrilegally
cottage
use?
cheese, because ricotta
Cottage
tastes like
cheese.
Cottage
cheese.
cheese. I don't use either one of those.
You don't use either?
I don't eat
Is there a
lasagna.
secret
A
third
third
thing you can do
option?
for
Most
lasagna?
people
What?
just use
Mozzarella.
mozzarella.
Oh, yeah, you throw mozzarella in there.
I don't know.
Yeah.
A lot of people just use straight up. I don't eat lasagna. I
It's
don't
like-
like red sauce.
I just use like meat sauce.
Hmm.
As like the bulk of it.
Welcome to Lasagna Cast. This is your lasagna podcast.
Yeah.
Let's start some lasagna discourse. Dan, do you use cottage cheese in your lasagna?
Em and I both hate ricotta. Ricotta is the garbage cheese. It's the cheese that you use to like clean your shoes off with. Yes, you clean your shoes off with ricotta because it's garbage and it tastes like sand.
Oh.
Whoa.
Ricotta
All right.
cheese is the
Strong
best
feelings.
part of lasagna. The lasagna is literally just a vessel to get ricotta cheese into your mouth.
I think the podcast is over,
yeah.
guys. We can't consolidate. We can't console after this. This is it.
Oh, no.
Friendship over.
I don't know. But
Ricotta
wait,
ruined it.
The great equalizer. I'll make lasagna for you guys that has neither cottage cheese or ricotta cheese in it one day, and you guys will have your minds blown.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
I had no idea that there was another option. I never would have considered.
The great peacemaker lasagna.
The
Like
mozzarella
a
shall bring us all
lasagna.
together.
Yeah, the lasagna of peace.
Like lasagna, this podcast has layers. Hey, guys, what have you been up to?
Who you
Is that a
asking?
good segue?
That was an okay segue.
It's a broad segue.
Is-
You got to choose one of us,
It's a
though.
segue that takes
Ritter,
up like
what
a
are you
whole
doing?
lane
What are
on
you
the
up
road.
to? Ritter.
Like these wheels are just out here like for like 4 foot. They're just like tripping people because the wheels are out too far and they're low to the ground.
Whoa,
and you just
whoa,
drove
whoa,
by
whoa,
somebody,
whoa, whoa, whoa.
and all of a
Time
sudden
out.
they're just like wow on the floor.
I
Time
don't
out.
think segways
That's it.
come that big.
I got an idea.
It's a
Oh.
wide segue.
We're going to start a new blood sport right now, where it's Segway jousting. So you're on your Segway, you got your little joust, but then you got like those wheel spike things on the side of the Segway wheels, and it's just a death match between two Segways enter, one leaves.
It's like the chariot spikes on like Segway wheels.
Yeah, we could build a hippodrome and everything.
What happens when one of the segways falls on the ground and starts spinning into a whirling dervish of hate, pain, and misery?
Don't.
one's
That's a
down.
bad zone. We just stay away from that zone.
You just shut down that corner of the area. You just shut down that part of the city.
Segway
Say
No
wheels.
one
there.
goes there. There's just a spiraling Segway until it runs out of
We don't go
batteries,
there
which
no
is
more.
never.
You have color-coded Segways, and if the Segway by itself actually manages to defeat the other opponent, it still counts for you.
Yeah, you might be dead, but your Segway won it for you.
Yeah. It's like your trusty steed.
Could you imagine like a cavalry charge of nothing but Segways? like on Lord of the Rings, like the riders of Rohan riding to the flank of the orcs, but they're all on Segways.
Hey, you know those like bicycles that you can have multiple people on? What about a Segway with that, but it's like horizontal and
Pretty
it's
sure
got
that's a
multiple
car.
little like No, it's horizontal. It's got a lot of those little stand-up handles for people. It's just sideways with a bunch of people on it. One long
Do you have like
line.
multiple rowers on these segways? Like you got people like having to segue the thing in
Yes,
like
like a
multiple
absolutely.
segments of
Absolutely
segways?
like that. It has to be in tandem. Tom, you stay in order. Tom, if you fuck this up, we're going down. The whole thing's
it's all on
going
you,
down,
Tom.
The segmented segways. Who would have thought?
Oh man. So I think we got our mandatory Segway talk out of the way.
Of course, every episode for
Every
some
episode.
reason we have to talk about
When are
the
we gonna get the
actual
Segway
vehicle
brand
of
deal?
Segway.
Oh, hey Segway, free advertisement.
Is Segway a brand?
Yeah.
Is Segway a brand?
I don't know if
yes.
you have like. Does Honda make a Segway?
I'm gonna have to call out Paul Blart for this one.
Who?
Oh, everybody should blame Paul Blart.
No.
It's a comedy from like the mid 2000s of a fat Hollywood fat security guard, and there's
Kevin
a Segway.
James.
Kevin James.
who I look remarkably like anytime I wear cargo shorts, by the way.
Oh, can we all
anytime I
just be
put on
Kevin
cargo
James for
shorts, I
Halloween?
look exactly like a lady Kevin James.
I would have to see who this is.
Man,
Oh man, that's
do
a
some
shame.
do some Kevin James do some Paul Blart cosplay. Do it.
Oh boy.
Do it.
That'll be a great boost to my self-esteem, I'm sure.
Get your
That's
mustache
perfect.
and everything will be great.
Oh man. Why are these animals talking in my zoo?
Oh, he did this.
He
Wait,
did his zookeeper movie. Yes.
Is he in a mall or is he in a zoo? What are we talking about?
I gotta ride this ostrich to stop the terrorists.
Is he riding an ostrich or a Segway?
Paul Blart Zoo Cop.
I saw Paul Blart Mall Cop 2 in theaters.
There's a
They
second
made
one.
two of these?
There's a second one, and I saw it in theaters.
All right,
It
so
was
Theaters.
awful.
let's not pimp
I
out
paid
another
money.
West Virginia podcast, but I'm going to pimp out another West Virginia podcast. So those beautiful McElroy boys,
Yes, beautiful brothers.
every November around Easter, they've committed for the rest of their lives to watching Paul Blart Mall Cop
Oh.
2 and doing a podcast called Till Death Do Us Blart.
Oh no.
Is
Listen.
this a popular thing?
No, it's
this-
bad.
is this- oh,
It's
okay.
a very bad movie.
It's like I've
It's
never
like-
heard of this.
What's that one movie that we just watched with Bruce Willis?
Face Off? No,
No,
that's
what-
not Bruce
the-
Willis.
The one
The one
where
with
he
the
has to
terrorist-
go to the moon.
Wait a minute.
Where
Did you?
it was directed
No.
by
I
Mel
forgot the
Gibson,
name for some
and
reason.
you
I'm
The Rock's
saying-
blanking.
there, and-
Are you
I
saying
am saying
that
that Paul Blart Mall Cop is just that movie with Bruce Willis, but if Paul Blart was the protagonist instead.
You need
so
to see
mad
Dan's
that
It
you're
face
is
of
making
that
rage right now.
exact. What is the name
You're
of that
Die
movie?
Hard!
Die Hard.
I am
Paul
so
Blart
mad!
Mall Cop is just Die Hard, but with Kevin James.
I am so mad.
I'm right. Change my mind.
Dan's face is as red as his notebook right
Man.
now.
Change my
Man.
mind. He gets stuck in a mall instead of an office building. He has to take out the terrorists one by one. His beloved is captured by the terrorists. It is exactly
Wait a minute, that does
Die
sound
Hard.
exactly like the movie
He
that I
talks
saw.
to a cop on the outside.
Wait, really?
Yeah, he's talking to a cop on the outside.
Dad, you didn't
through
tell me.
A fucking
I didn't know.
speaker. It's
I
the
didn't put the
comedy
numbers together.
version of Die Hard. If Bruce Willis was out of shape and very socially awkward, it would
Does
be
it
the
also-
exact movie Paul Blart Mall Cop.
Does it also take place during Easter or whatever? Christmas?
You know, I'm not sure. It might
I'm
take
so
place
mad
during a
right now.
holiday. I'm not wrong. You can't change
so
my
mad.
mind.
I mean, it's just not wrong, yeah.
I'm not. I
don't
know
understand
I'm
why
not
it's
wrong.
Everybody
Mad.
betray me.
We'll not talk about that. We'll not bring that up.
The Room?
Man,
No.
It's a
The
good
Room?
movie.
No, it's not.
The Room was in a recent episode or a recent Deadpool comic. I'm serious. Captain Marvel was holding the DVD and she's like, "I didn't want this."
I could see that.
Nobody does.
Hold on,
I won this.
Hold on, I actually saved the picture to show you guys.
Man, once
That's the
Big
one
Shark
thing-
comes out, we should probably have a live watching a Big Shark.
Yeah.
Every
If
time
it
you
ever
mention,
actually gets to come out, then
If
yes.
it ever comes out.
I actively forget this every time you mention it, so it's always like, "What are you talking
I
about to
accidentally
me?"
just made a phone call.
Oh no!
Ignore
no.
me. It's my own voicemail,
Oh,
so
no.
it's fine.
Ignore me.
It's fine.
So, you were asking one of us what we were doing.
Who's doing what? Are you talking about like?
That is
Do we-
a fantastically poor drawing of Tommy Wiseau.
Do we even have a format? Is there even?
There's a format. We
There's
just
a format. Ritter, talk about your games.
We're gonna talk
what
about
you
what
been
you've
playing?
been doing by yourself.
We broke Ritter.
What?
What have you been doing alone?
I've been making a lot of models, as I am wont to do.
Ooh.
Model building is one of my favorite things to do with no one in particular.
what
Ritter
what kits have you been working on?
Cars.
Not for Gaslands? or
Yeah,
just in
precisely
general?
for Gaslands. I put
Ooh.
the picture in the thing.
You did.
see
You
the
see it? I
picture.
got like 20 cars. I have buggies. I got tanks. I got a monster truck that is from 1991.
Do you
I did
actually
see
have
that
go
monster
karts?
truck.
What?
Do you actually have go karts?
I have, yeah, that one little go kart. There is a model go kart I found that I had from somewhere that is 1/64th scale.
Nice.
So we will have to get rules for it.
I'm
And I
pretty
just
sure
want-
they exist.
I just
Does it
want to
have to be
imagine that it's going to be the
exactly
fastest dang
1/64th?
little missile.
Yeah.
You see, I put a person on it.
You put that person on it?
Yeah, I
Where'd
modded
you get
them on there.
64 where'd you get people that small?
He's not that small.
Oh,
He's way oversized. He's a Space Marine scout from a bike.
Look like Donkey Kong on like the go-kart and like Mario
Yeah,
64.
it's pretty much exactly that. And he's got like a grenade in his hand on the back, so it looks like he's like operating the throttle back there. I was like, dang, perfect.
That's great.
Oh man,
Nature finds a way.
that monster truck's gonna be useful because there's a game mode where one person has the monster truck and everybody else is like cars and buggies, and they gotta
Yeah.
blow up the monster truck.
Oh, that'd
Yeah,
be so
that's
much
why
fun.
that's why I got that, because I was like,
Oh.
I know I have this.
On the topic of Gaslands, Kyle,
Yeah.
I already showed Ritter this, but my tokens came in from Etsy.
Did they know?
Yeah, so I got some hazard tokens, some ammo tokens.
Oh, I gotta see those.
There's vote tokens that I don't know what
Yeah,
they do.
vote tokens are for the actual game because like there's a mechanic in there where if you lose cars, you get vote tokens and you can cash those in to respawn. It's like the audience liking the underdog.
Oh, I see. It's like a balancer.
Yeah,
Fascinating.
yeah. There's a lot more to that game. We just gotta sit down and just like dig deep into that game.
Memorize the rules and everything.
Yeah, because I tried to show Ritter the other day.
Hmm.
I couldn't remember the rules.
Really?
Like I was having a hard time. I'm really bad at teaching though, so that's also part of it.
Yeah. We
Yeah,
get
you'll
together
have
and
that.
do a 3-player death race. I think we'll all get the rules down pretty well between the three of us.
I think like a 50 can game. So we each get like two
That-
cars.
There's pre-built teams in there. You
I saw
didn't
that.
tell me this.
I didn't
I
know.
could have just made a pre-built team. There's a couple that's like you use your performance cars and you make 2-man team, and there you go. There's perks that just let you jump stuff.
Yeah, like some
Trick
of the
driver.
teams-
You could do a performance card trick driver, and if he collides with something, he jumps it. He gets
Ooh.
3 hazard tokens at the end of his movement, but he does not crash into anything.
That's cool.
So there is neat stuff.
Yeah.
Stunt driver and trick driver. One of those does the thing that I said. I forget which one does what.
Yeah, I was trying to get the basic rules down before we like introduced the campaign system and the teams
Yeah.
Yeah.
and driver perks and stuff. Because I figure we can fangle it to where we make our own teams too. If you're not happy with the 6 or so teams that are already in Gaslands.
I still want to make Dynamite, Team Dynamite. They get all the dinosaur Platon looking cars with just nothing but explosives. That's my team.
You do have multiple dinosaur cards at this point.
Yeah, I gotta pay them up metallic where they don't look goofy.
Every time I go into Kroger's, I always pick up like the 6-pack of cars because there's a really good 6-pack right now. It's like some muscle cars. I'm like, I'm gonna buy these, and then it's like, I'm 30. I should just buy these on eBay and spare
They're
myself
not
the
cheaper.
shame.
They are not cheaper on eBay.
They're not cheaper,
I
but
have
they
looked.
have less shame attached to them.
Kyle also
What's the price of your
almost
shame?
flips out every single time. Like he'll pick up some cars, and then like halfway through the grocery store, he's like, "Oh, maybe I shouldn't." And I'm like, "Don't you put down those cars? Don't you do it, grown man, Kyle. You are gonna buy those cars."
People have children. People buy their children things. That's all
You're
you
right.
gotta
Yeah,
be
we're
like.
children age. I
Ah,
mean, we're children
damn.
having age. We could easily
How did I not
trick
think of that
someone into
excuse?
thinking
Like,
we're
yes, this
buying
is for
it
my 5-year-old child, not
I mean,
for this
it doesn't
27-year-old
even have
man.
to be for like your own child. Yeah, this is for my nephew.
Yeah,
He's
to get a
super
birthday
into this.
present.
These
Yeah,
are for
Easter's
my
coming
niece.
Oh,
Yeah, you gotta
Yeah,
get
yeah.
birthday. People have birthdays all the time.
But then you look like the bad uncle who just like went to Kroger's real quick to get like a couple of $2 Hot Wheel cars for like
No, you could be
his
like-
nephew's birthday at the last minute.
That's definitely super common. And also, you'd be like, man, my niece collects these. She doesn't have this one. She's going to be super excited. Super easy stuff like that. Like, people are going to be like, oh, what a good uncle.
Hey, you're right.
And,
you're
but
right.
also, no fucking cashier is going to be like, hey, why you look older than 18. Why are you buying these NASCAR cars?
You're right.
No cashier is going to call you out and be like, why are you buying these little cars, big man? Big man, what do you need these little cars for?
I never shamed anybody when I was working at a register.
Because I couldn't remember what they bought. You know.
I
Right,
didn't
who cares?
shame much either. Though, like, every time I saw, like, a girl my age buy a pregnancy test, I was always silently like, I hope you get the outcome that you want.
Yeah.
And that was about it. Like, it was just in my brain going, I really hope that whatever this comes out to be is what you're hoping it is right now. And that was it.
Yeah.
I wasn't like, hey, I see you're buying a pregnancy test. Why'd you fuck up so bad? Like, no, we don't do that kind of shit. Like, people always do those games like, name 3 things that you could buy together at Walmart to freak out the cashier. I promise you that I don't have the mental capacity to realize that you're buying, like, condoms and a children's playbook and some thumbtacks at the same time and think, obviously these are connected. Like, I'm not thinking that in my brain. I'm just like,
Yep.
I got 1 hour until I get to take a 15-minute break and eat a Hot Pocket that's half cooked like a goblin upstairs so I have more time to watch TV. Like that, I'm not thinking that. I wonder if Family Feud is still on, is what's going on in my brain right now.
Is
I
it
could
still
s-
on? No
Oh
one
yeah,
knows.
Family Feud's definitely still on. It was pretty much always on in the break room at my old grocery store job. Like pretty much always, I would go up and be like, Steve, tell me something before I have to go back down there.
Steve saved me from my life.
I only cook the Hot Pocket for half time because I want to be able to eat it faster.
I got a 15-minute, and this Hot Pocket takes 7 minutes to cook. You do the math, Steve. Steve Harvey, you do the math.
It's a little frozen in the middle, but that's okay. It's like that was pretty much just me every day.
Yeah, back to Gaslands, though.
Oh yeah, sure. But
Did
less
you see what
depressing
Ritter?
topic.
Did you see what Ritter did to his cars
Yes.
to make
saw
them
it.
stop moving?
Wait, no, I didn't see that. I just saw the pictures from last night.
I just glue bases onto the bottom of them
Like
with
like
a
20
piece
mil
of tape.
bases?
You put a tape on the car,
Okay.
and then you glue the base to the tape. So if I want this car to be able to roll again, I just peel the tape off and done. It's the same thing I've
smart.
done with all the weapons.
Super
So if I
easy.
want to take them off, you undo the tape. Yeah,
How about that?
it's easy, very easy.
Steve Harvey couldn't think of that.
Yeah.
I don't know who that is, so maybe he would. I don't know.
He's a guy.
Oh,
He's all right.
could have been.
I have mixed feelings on Steve Harvey.
Mm.
He's pretty funny on Family Feud.
Well, there you go. I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen an episode of Family Feud. I know that there are two
It's pretty
families, and
good.
I think they have to like do physical challenges and like throw
definitely not
watermelons
true.
at each other and stuff. You know? I don't know.
God,
No,
I wish.
that was Double Dare, dude.
Oh,
I was thinking Legends of the Hidden Temple.
God, I
How
love
do they
Legends
fuck
of the
up
Hidden
that
Temple.
little statue? It's 3 pieces. It's the bottom, it's the middle, it's the top.
Can I say Legends of the Hidden Temple was actually like way darker than you would think.
Yeah, I remember
Like
hearing that.
kids have PTSD from that show. Like very really, like kids were actually traumatized from that show. They had them go hours without eating or being able to leave the set. Like, and they framed the temple in a very fun and whimsical way for the audience. But for a lot of kids, it was like actually really frightening and stress inducing, and they made it like completely impossible for a kid to complete as well. And it was very like disarming and unnerving, and kids actually got PTSD from that show. I love that show to death, but it like fucked up kids, man. Like they were like fucked up,
whoa.
It was no Nick Arcade.
and nobody ever won. But the prizes were still like a pack of gum, and kids were like, "Ah, it's a juicy fruit!" Ah! And it was like, dude, no, it's really not worth it.
Did you guys remember Nick Arcade, or was that before you guys' time?
It's
Before
before
my
my
time,
time.
that
I'm
is.
sorry. I remember
All right.
slime, but that's it.
So this is like during the Double Dare age. I think it was called Nick Arcade, but like it was another one of those game shows. But instead of like picking the big nose for the boogers or finding the flags and like
do remember
the
that one.
soups or getting the goops on your heads, it was just like, okay, play Sonic. We'll keep track of your score, and if you beat like the Game Master's score, you win a prize. And it was neat.
Oh.
Wait, you mean like that thing Richard Nixon does? He's
No.
done that. He has that big emulator thing,
You
and he's
know
got
what?
the big. He's done that exact thing. He's like, okay, you're both going to level 2. Whoever gets the highest score wins.
Richard Nixon might know about this because we were both. That's the right age for that. We've never talked about this. I need to talk to Richard Nixon about
I'm gonna
this.
message him right
Yeah.
now. Richard
I
Nixon,
did
can we
not
talk
have-
about Nick
I don't
Arcade?
Remember the crook.
Nah, I liked him swimming around in that goop. That goopy goop.
I don't think I would swim
That
in a
was
goop.
my jam. I would absolutely swim it. I would drink the goop for $5. Look at
That
me.
show happened at an interesting time because any later, and you'd have to worry about, hey, I got to make sure my cell phone's out of my pocket before I get dumped in this goop.
Yeah, I think that a lot when I see like people just like going into stuff. I'm like, oh, their phone.
Yeah,
Their
yeah.
phone though.
Because it used to be a fun like uncle thing to throw your nephews and stuff in pools, and it was
Oh
like a
my
fun little
God.
prank. Haha,
Yeah,
you're
but
all
if
wet.
you did that now, you've just ruined that kid's iPhone 7.
Hey kid, cut some grasses, save up for a new iPhone 7.
There goes
Sorry,
$800.
Uncle Billy threw you into the pool.
Yeah.
He thought it would be a fun goof, but now your iPhone 7 and your AirPods are ruined.
Oh no, he has AirPods in. You doing anything else, Ritter?
Not particularly. That was it. Worked on the cars and played a few games around about. Nothing incredibly noteworthy that I would say, so to speak.
Still working on Final Fantasy 3?
Yeah, still am. Still going through some things on that. Still trying to max out a whole bunch of stuff, so it takes me a lot longer than it probably normally would.
Well, you got to get that quad, or is it quad 9? Is it like 5 or
Yeah,
6
quad
nines?
nines.
Yeah, you got to get that quad 9 damage.
I'm able to hit people for it occasionally. Like, it is happening. I forget who I had that can do it. I think Edgar can hit some people for it with chainsaw. Trying to think who else I had do that.
Edgar was a cool dude.
Yeah.
He's the one in the hole.
He's the
Edgar's
what?
in the hole.
That was a reference that nobody's going to get except maybe Hannah. Actually, Hannah will most certainly get it, but there's no way she listened to our podcast.
Wait,
Secret.
was that the achievement hunter thing? The cow and the Minecraft?
Yeah,
I remember you telling me about that.
Proud of you. Look
Yeah.
at you getting my references. I'm
Yeah.
so proud.
Been around here for
Good
3 years.
job.
I hope I would.
Yeah, I actually have a Free Edgar T-shirt that I wear. It's Free Edgar. He's the one in the hole.
Yeah.
It's from oh my god, I think it was 2013. Free Edgar 2013.
Now, that doesn't seem like a long time ago to me. That seems like last year.
5 years ago.
Ugh.
I remember at some point I was
6
wearing
years
it,
ago.
and
Ugh.
oh my god, 6 years ago. I remember at some point I was wearing that, and as he said, it's a reference to a goofy internet joke with Achievement Hunter where they keep a Minecraft cow in like a glass prison in a hole, and call him Edgar. And some guy actually thought that it was like a political shirt, like free so and so, hashtag free so and so 2013, and he's like, nice, stick to the man, free my boy. And I was like, it's a Minecraft cow, sir. This is not some big statement. It's just a Minecraft cow.
It's just a little digital
People
cow.
want to join a cause that they think is doing something.
You guys
Like the
remember
people-
Coney 2012?
I was just going
What
to say
happened to that guy?
He got naked. The pressure became too much for him, and he got naked.
There was a whole year about destroying that guy. I don't think we even got him. I'm pretty
no
sure.
idea.
I think that year ended and everyone went, well, that's about how long we can care about these kind of things, and just like swept it under the rug. I don't know if he's still out there or not. Hey, listeners, if you know the whereabouts of Coney from Coney 2012, email me so I can just figure out what's going on with that.
I looked up some information when I was going on. Coney hadn't been a problem in that region for like years. Whenever that started trending, becoming a thing.
Dang. Didn't he have like warrior children? Wasn't that the whole thing?
Used to.
He had like an army of children.
That hadn't been a problem until like, I think it was like 4 years ago, like 2008. It was a problem, and then like once it became like trendy and stuff like that, he was like gone at that point.
Ugh, dang.
So it wasn't even a problem then. And
Well-
like what was that organization? They just kind of pocketed a lot of the money from like the publicity and stuff.
Oh, dang.
Yeah,
That's
it was-
fucked up.
Yeah,
Coney, if you're out there, fuck you. Fuck you. Why are you fucking with kids? They're not even that strong. Get an army of dogs before children. At least they got those sharp teeth. What are you doing?
dogs can't shoot AK-47s.
Yep. No.
Kids' fingers are too tiny
Communist.
to
Or comrade
do
dog
that.
can.
Communist dogs.
Comrade dog.
He
Take
can only
Mauser.
shoot Mauser.
Communist dogs.
Mauser, good gun. Go kill many Germans.
Yes.
I prefer to shoot the schnauzer.
No.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm here all week.
Comrade Dog attempted to train with Dragunov, but Comrade Dog only see in black and white, so his long range vision is not superior.
That was my least favorite sniper rifle in any video game.
Why?
The
Dragunov
scope.
was
I couldn't
crap.
figure out the fucking scope.
Why?
It was real hard. I didn't get the scope.
It's one of the only gas powered stuff. If Gunman was here, he'd be having a field day.
Gunman would, but I didn't understand how the scopes work because it was always that same scope with like the rangefinder. I just wanted the crosshairs because they put the crosshair and you pull the trigger.
Bang. Shoot a
Bang.
man.
Bang.
I didn't have to do math.
Yeah, right. Fine.
Uh,
Dan, what have you been doing?
What have I been doing? Not too much. Still overtime hell at work.
Ugh.
Stellaris like normal. Just playing through Stellaris, building my space empire. Doing a really neat run this time where instead of being like an expansionistic like playing it normal, I'm like a really insular empire. Little xenophobic, but that's all right because I'm peaceful about it. I'm
Is
like,
it alright?
it's okay. I'm like, I don't like you. I'm better, but I'm also a pacifist, so I'm not gonna do anything about it. So basically, I've been in this like tiny little empire, just building techs and like starting to build like mega structures and Dyson spears and stuff. It's real neat. I haven't fought a single war. The game's been going on for about like 200 years or like 6 or 7 hours.
You building vacuum cleaners?
Dyson spears, like the spears that go over the stars that collect the energy. It's like a hypothesized megastructure, like a man, I can't speak. A galactic empire would have.
Oh, I
The
thought it
capture-
was like a spear that had like a Dyson attached to it, so that whatever you throw it at, it just like cleans up that area, like very small square footage, obviously.
The tidiest
Very nice.
empire of xenophobic pacifists.
Right? Isn't there? There's like some kind of like Star Wars villain that's like sterilize or something like that.
Nope, that's the
Star
Doctor
Trek?
Who,
Oh.
and that's exterminate.
No.
Or
Whatever.
maybe you're thinking
Yep.
of that one episode of Lilo and Stitch, the TV show, where one of the experiments is really into cleaning, but then he goes too far and decides that people are dirty too, and starts to attack people. But Lilo and Stitch teach him how to love.
What a classic Disney
Da,
adventure.
da, da, da.
Hey, you guys ever watch that TV show, Lilo and
No.
Stitch?
No.
Oh
After
my
my time.
god,
I don't
bro,
like
it was
Disney
so
too.
good. Except for
Stuff.
Stitch's girlfriend, who had the weird fur titties. It was a really good show.
I knew you were going to mention the fur
Fur
titties.
titties.
This isn't the Fur Titty
Every time.
podcast.
I don't
I'm not
like
gonna
Disney
get into
stuff.
it because we already did.
Yes,
but
we did.
I did want to. It's just a good show. It's a good show.
Speaking of fur titties, the other game I played a lot this week was another Paradox game because that's just been my jam lately. It's a new game just came out called Imperator Rome. It's like your classic Paradox game where you just get a map of Eurasia and you get little armies and it's just you're playing a grand strategy board game.
Wait, you're all of Asia?
Well, I mean, you're whatever little
You just said you're Asia.
Eurasia.
Like Europe and Asia.
Europe,
Eurasia.
Asia,
yeah.
North
You're-
Africa.
You said you're Asia. Like, how do you play as Asia?
Da, 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 da.
All right, fine. I'll see myself out. Can
But,
you be like Nero?
What?
Can you be like Nero?
I mean, you can play Rome.
Yeah. Can you be Nero?
Well, Nero jerk.
This is before Nero.
Is that
This
the
is like
guy
right
from
after.
Matrix?
No, that's a Roman emperor.
You know.
Is
the
that not the guy
who
from
wasn't
Matrix?
cool?
I mean, Neo's the guy from Matrix.
Neo.
Mm.
But
Nero wasn't really cool. He did a lot of stuff he probably shouldn't have done. You know?
yeah, most of those emperors did though.
Yeah, well, they do what they want.
But the game is huge.
Ritter, I'm gonna need you to take down your energy because you're just a little bit too high energy right now.
I mean,
need
I'm
you
trying
to
to make
down.
jokes here, and it's just like you
see
say
you.
the joke and you hear
Turn
the
it
actual
down.
cricket noise. You're like, well, that was a thing.
Julius Caesar was a thing.
Yeah, remember when he did the stuff and had the laurels?
He made that salad that one time.
Yeah.
the Cobb salad.
Good salad.
Did he? Wait,
That's his
Wait.
greatest
Was that
achievement. He
have
crossed the
corn?
Rubicon with a whole bunch of arugula.
the Rubicon, arugula, the
How to
Caesar
get those
salad,
tiny little
complicated.
corn cobs?
Yeah,
How to get those tiny corns?
he was the first European in the Americas. He stole their corn real quick.
Oh my god!
He
Wait,
made the
did they not
perfect
have corn until they
The
got to
conspiracy
America?
comes
No,
out.
corn's in the Columbia
Corn and
Exchange.
potatoes both
The
are
Native
an American native
Americans
plant.
grew corn out of fish, right out of fish. They just came out of fish.
Ew,
Yeah,
cornfish.
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 But yeah, it's a good game. The map's huge. There's I think 1,200 provinces.
That's a lot of provincials.
That is a lot.
It's just a big. It's in the realm of the big boring games, and I love it.
I feel like there's a point where a map gets too big for me. Like there's too much going on.
Yeah.
Like Fallout 4 was kind of on the cusp of too big for me. Fallout 4 I haven't played it in a long time, and it's just because I get stressed and overwhelmed trying to explore the whole map.
We need to have a
Like-
Fallout cast, by the way. Side
Yeah.
note, because
There's
I
the-
got opinions and thoughts.
There's there's just a cutoff for me where it's open world is great. I love open world. I love being able to explore. But there does become a point where the map is just too big for my liking. And I'm like, all right, I didn't need this whole section here. Can we just cut it down a bit so I can not have a anxiety attack every time I open the game?
Have you ever tried playing Fallout 4 on survival mode? They
God,
turn
no.
off the fast travel. It's the perfect way to play the game, minus the fact that they turn off the fast travel.
Listen, I play all my games on easy mode. I enjoy the leisurely lifestyle.
Fair enough.
But I think the only game I use fast travel in is Fallout 4, actually, too. I've never once used fast travel in Red Dead Redemption 2. Not once.
Yeah. Well, you don't get it until you make that camp upgrade.
Oh, I did that almost instantly is the
Yeah.
thing. I prioritized upgrading camp, but I've never once used it.
That's a good game. You know what? Speaking about Red Dead and all that fun stuff, Randy, what'd you do?
I beat Red Dead Redemption 2.
Nice.
I
No
beat Chapter
spoilers.
6. No spoilers. There is an epilogue, but I feel like everyone already kind of knew that, and I haven't done it yet. So I haven't fully beat it, technically, I guess. But there's 6 chapters to the main game, and I just finished Chapter 6 last night. No spoilers, but I did cry in the club. I was hardcore crying, but I cry pretty easy, so that's not really a spoiler.
Were you like that one Kesha song, There's Tears on the Dance Floor?
There was absolutely tears on my dance floor.
Is that really a Kesha song?
It's so good.
Kesha's a treasure. But yes, I was definitely crying for sure. Pretty much through the entirety of the 6th act. It was just me like on the verge of tears or silently shedding manly tears on the couch. But I finally beat it. Loved it. Enjoyed it a lot. I guess I'll play the epilogue now. I don't really have much purpose going on
What
with
if
my
the
life now
epilogue
that I
is
beat
just
it.
a boss fight of crocodiles, though?
Oh man, the
There
crocodilian
was
army.
there was a single mission focused on the fucking alligators. And listen,
Alligators.
I was so stressed the entire time. You don't get a weapon. You're just climbing around in the bog with only a lantern. And I was so hyper stressed the entire time. I could have died.
That's where I would turn the game off and be like, well, that was a fun game.
Oh,
It was rough, dude.
do you remember Might and Magic Ritter?
Yeah.
You remember how good it was?
Yeah.
Do you remember the reason why I stopped playing?
You mean DMMA MMP? Dark Messiah Might and Magic Multiplayer?
What?
Yeah.
Oh.
All right.
So there are these spiders in this cave.
That's like really early.
It's really early. That was, yeah, you're right. These
It's not the
spiders
halfway
freaked me
point.
out so much that I was like, you know what? I'm done. I can't play this game. Spiders ruined it. And it's a
Oh,
shame because
no.
that was a good game.
I used to play Everblue 2 a lot as a kid, and I have a crippling fear of sharks. I'm not quiet about this. I won't go past my knees in the ocean without almost crying. So I'm not a big fan. And Everblue 2 is, of course, a first-person diver game for PlayStation 2 that I played a lot when I was just a wee tot in like 3rd grade, perhaps. And there are sharks in there, and they are all very violent. And like you can tell because it starts with like the.
They just straight up jaws you.
Yeah, they
Is
straight
there-
up jaws you, and then they attack you, and there's different species of sharks. But there's also a quick exit function where you can just auto-exit out of the water and be back on land. And every single time I so much as heard, duh, I was gone. Gone. Instantly gone. Like, hyperventilating, little, like, 8-year-old... Was that how old I was in 3rd grade? I don't know ages. Like, probably
Oh,
around,
yeah.
like, 8-year-old me, hyperventilating on a bed, pausing and hitting exit water as quickly as my little hands could move in fear. I hated it. And I've said it before, but alligators are just sharks of the swamp.
Yep.
And they can come on
Yeah.
land, which is even worse.
And they're
But
armored.
They're terrible. And that was a really bad mission. And they're just bad.
I wonder
hate
what
the
tier
South.
zoo rates alligators.
Oh man, I love that channel.
Alligators would probably be pretty high tier.
I think they're low tier. They got
depending
nothing.
on your biome.
I guess if you're in water
Do you
biome,
know
they're
how
higher.
long they can live without like food or breathing?
A while.
It's like an
Wow.
absurd amount of time.
But you know how you get away from an alligator on land? Just go away.
You just
Like,
walk.
Yeah, you're.
Have
you're
you
faster
seen
than
how
them.
fast those
You
things
know
can
they're
be
like
on land
really
though?
fast.
Can they?
Yeah,
Yes.
dude. They
So-
can like book it
Oh
hard.
yeah,
They-
man.
They do that thing where their arms go like all the way around in the circle,
Yeah,
like
like
the comedic looking,
helicoptering.
like Sonic the Hedgehog when his legs turn into a ball.
They just go
Like-
quack, quack, quack.
Wait, is
They're
Sonic the
out.
Hedgehog an alligator?
No,
Maybe.
no, it's not.
Part alligator.
You just said the hedgehog, the alligator.
Yeah.
You like
Sonic the
you
Hedgehog, the alligator.
quantified that statement for yourself immediately. I feel like it would be very handy if people like out in the world, whenever they're diving or going in marshes or whatever, had their own personal 4-stringed ostinato in D minor following them, so they know whenever a shark's about to get them.
It would be handy. It would be really nice to just
Can you
know.
imagine you're just hiking and all of a sudden, the goddamn land shark coming. Where's it coming from? I can't trust those land sharks.
That's just
gonna get you.
anxiety. Every time you just have the shark theme going on, but there's no shark.
There could be black bear.
My God. No, but I did finish Red Dead Redemption 2, and I really enjoyed it a lot, and I've been doing a lot with it. I'll definitely be playing it some more. Got to get that sick epilogue. I imagine the epilogue's pretty long because I think I'm like 75% through the story, and I've already finished the 6 main chapters, so the rest has got to be the epilogue.
Yeah.
So it's got to be pretty decently long. I don't know much about it at
I
this
wonder
point.
how close it comes to Red Dead 1, like in time-wise. Does it put you all the way up to like the beginning of 1?
I think it does. I think it's like incredibly close.
Because avoiding spoilers, I think I know who you play as in the epilogue. That's pretty obvious.
Likely.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it does get you very close because I'm pretty sure Red Dead Redemption 1 is like 1911.
Yeah.
And the beginning of Red Dead Redemption 2 is like 1899.
Something like that, yeah.
Something along those lines. And then the epilogue takes place several years later. It doesn't specify how much. It literally just says some years later. And then begins the epilogue, which I have not played yet, as I said. But, so I imagine it's pretty freaking close.
Yeah.
To, like, where it kicks off. Which I have not played Red Dead Redemption 1. I've watched parts of it. My mom was really into it, and sometimes I would sit in and watch her, but I was, like, younger, so I never really paid attention to the plot. I was just like, wow, ride horse. And that was, like, it.
That was
is
the
it.
end of Red Horse,
That's
though.
pretty much the game, though.
It is pretty much the
Wow,
game.
ride
I
horse.
don't like to... That's the Red Dead Redemption 2 is a good example of a map that's perfect size for me. It's big and there's a lot to explore, but it's not overwhelmingly large.
It seems like it's
really
compact.
good. It's a really good size to where you can explore everything without feeling like exceptionally overwhelmed. Like
Yeah.
you're like, oh my god, there's so much. No, it's really nice. I really enjoy just riding around, and I don't fast travel because I like all like the random events and like random places you come across whenever you're like going around. Like you'll just come across, like, I freed a prisoner the other day. She was just a sweet lady. I mean, she was definitely a murderer, but I freed her. She didn't deserve that life. And I got honor for it. Also, finished the game, max honor.
Hell yeah.
I was the most honorable cowboy in the
Those fish
goddamn
must have
world.
loved you.
I actually didn't fish that much. It was
Off
all
of
about
Morgan,
doing
king
those
of the
sick
fishes.
good deeds. I did walk around Saint Denis a lot saying hello to people.
Did you ever go to
I've done
like
that,
the vaudeville playhouse?
I did. I went
Isn't
there
it-
on a date.
Oh, I don't need to know that, but
I didn't mean to say that. You heard me start filtering out.
yep.
It doesn't matter that
Just-
much.
just
I'm sorry.
edit out your
It's-
life,
Did you
Dan.
it's not
heckle the
super
entire time?
important.
Because I heckled the entire time.
I didn't
It was so
because I
fun.
feel bad heckling. I feel bad heckling. The only guy I heckled was like the announcer guy.
Yeah.
The acts themselves,
Yeah.
I was like, yeah. But as soon as that
Right on.
announcer guy came out, I didn't like him, so I heckled him.
Yeah, because Big Boss was watching me play one night, and she was like, "Yeah," I was like, "I kind of want to get out of this play." She's like, "No, just watch it," because it's like
It's
20
long.
minutes, like 20,
It's
30
a
minutes.
long thing. Like I was sitting there
You can't
because
shoot
I've
somebody?
been there. I've been there twice.
You might.
Okay.
There might be a shooting act in there.
Yeah,
Acting.
right.
Oh. I've been there twice. I don't think I saw anything shooting. Oh, I guess I saw one that had kind of had to do with shooting.
Yeah, a guy
but,
was like, "Here, shoot your gun at
Oh,
me."
yeah,
and
yeah,
I had
yeah,
like those
shooting the
big
teeth.
guns. I was like, "This is gonna go through her teeth," but all right, dude. And
oh, I didn't get to shoot at him. I was sitting up in the big balcony.
I was
Just
sitting, like,
because I'd accidentally gone up there, and I was like, well, the show's starting, so I guess I'm in the big balcony. So some other heckler that was down below actually volunteered to do it. And it worked out, of
Yeah, it
course,
worked out
because,
fine.
it's the show. But, yeah, no, I've gone there twice. It wasn't for anything important, so it wasn't like a huge accidental spoiler or anything.
Yeah.
But they weren't for anything important, mostly just because I wanted to check it out. There were 2 different shows each time, which was pretty cool. Some reoccurring themes like Fire Lady. But,
Yeah.
it was actually pretty fun. It
Did
was
they
just so
have-
long.
Did they have the Cake Night Rises?
oh man, the Cake
I don't
Night
know what
Rises
that
or the
is.
X folders.
The X folders?
Cake
Yeah.
Night Rises was great.
I don't
Yep.
know what that is.
Persona 5.
There's fake movies you can go see.
All the fake movies
Oh.
are great. They're all so good.
Yep, I remember
Nice.
Cake Night particularly.
Cake Night Rises.
No, man, but
Yeah.
it was so long. There's only
Get your
so
courage
long
up.
you can watch, like, an animated person do a cool dance
Yeah.
until you're just like, all right, this is, like, fake. Come on now. Just
Just
let
hurry up.
me go. Let me go.
That's
Also, I talked
impressive.
more to that veteran guy that you like so much.
Oh,
I talked
yeah.
more to him.
Did
He's
you hug him?
sweet. I didn't hug him. You don't get
have to
enough.
hug him.
Once you deny hugging him the first time, I don't think he asked for a hug again.
I hugged him.
I know you did. I know you
I hugged him real hard. I was like, you know what? You're having a rough time,
He's
bud.
a sweet dude. What, Mickey, I think is his name?
Yeah,
Mickey.
yeah,
He's
yeah.
a sweet guy. No, I
Oh.
really enjoy all the character in the game. I really do. There's just so many different, like, and there's reoccurring people that you'll come across. Like, one of the random occurrences you'll come across is a dude gets bit by a snake and you give him like an antidote.
Yeah.
You can come across that guy again. He gets bit by a snake again. And like Arthur like is like, dude, are you serious? Did you seriously get bit by a snake again? Get it together. And he's like, I know. I don't know. Like, I think I like that, like, a continuation kind of thing. It's really enjoyable.
I like the wildlife photographer guy. I think his was my favorite.
He's so great. Did you finish his or no?
I think the last one I did was down near St. Denis with all the alligators. I'm not sure if I finished out the quest or not. It seemed like it was kind of a finish, but I wasn't sure. You get the camera from him, take all your selfies. Wait, no, you don't get the camera from him.
I was gonna say, wait, what?
You get the camera from
You
Mission.
you get the camera from the dude who wants you to take pictures of all the gunslingers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I messed that quest line up because the couple that you have a small chance of defusing without the guns, like I didn't, so I ended up having to take them out. But I didn't realize that their guns were unique guns.
They were.
So I missed one, and it was bothering me to the point where I was like, I should probably restart this game so I can get that gun
You
that
can
I'm never going to
restart
use.
quests.
Oh, can you?
Like if you go to like missions
Yeah.
and check them out, there's an option to press triangle to replay mission.
Oh.
And I bet that you could replay it and like get the gun from it if you did that.
Get the gun, or at the very least, make sure that dude doesn't get shot in the face by me.
I
one I'm
killed
talking
all
about
of
was
them
the-
except Black Bell.
The dude in the train where you walk up to him and
Yes.
is like, "Excuse me, mister." And he's like, "Ah!" He starts running, and then you get on top of the train. It's like, I don't want to do this.
Yeah, killed him.
I didn't mean to. I didn't want to because
Oh, I didn't know you could defuse that, honestly.
I think you just shoot the guns out of their hands because in the first Red Dead, that's how you like won all the duels honorably. Is you just shot the gun out of their hand. You're
Oh.
like,
I guess that makes sense, but nah. I do know at some point. Oh, Ritter came over and he was like watching for a sec while he was waiting for Hannah to get out of the bath, and I like shot and killed a guy in a duel, and Ritter was like, you can like disarm him, and I went, oh, I know, and I just shot him in the head. I was
About
like,
to
I
bring
don't
up
give a
that
shit.
point. Yeah.
If I don't lose honor for it, I'm doing it.
I mean-
all that mattered was that honor score. If I could like kind of like tiptoe around it, it was fine.
I tried for the longest time in Red Dead Redemption 1 as well to not kill anyone in the game through in any of the duels either. And I remember restarting and trying multiple times. There's an event that happens in Mexico where a guy accuses you of cheating at cards and you have to duel him.
oh
And this is like duel tutorial. I reset that over and over and over again, trying to shoot the gun out of his hands and could never do it. I don't know if it was scripted that he had to die. I never looked it up. I seem to remember his name being like German or something like that. Like they just call him
Heinrich
whatever
or
his
something like
nationality is. Now, it's like they specifically
Irish.
call him. Yeah, because Irish is a character, but this guy's name is like German, not Dutch, because Dutch is a different person.
Yeah.
But I feel like they called him German for some
Oh my
reason.
god, I never thought that they might just call Dutch because he's Dutch.
Yeah,
He
they
might
do
be
that a
Dutch.
I
lot.
thought that was just his name.
It also might be his name though.
Yeah, they have a tendency to do that with a lot of dudes.
I always like Dutch vest. I wanted that vest.
I
tried
wanted
to
that
get a
voice
vest
actor
that,
just to
like, looked like
talk
it.
to me all day.
Yeah, he did have a really good voice act. My favorite voice actor is Sadie.
Sadie's
I
great.
love Sadie's voice. That little like fun, raspy, like strong woman voice. Love a woman with a deep voice. First off, all women with deep voices are great, and she has that nice rasp to it. And I really like her character. Any mission with Sadie, I'm on it. I'm on it as quickly as I can. Love hanging out with Sadie.
I wasn't so sure about Arthur's voice at first, because at first it just kind of sounded like a really bad Tom Waits impression. But like it grows on you. Like by the time you get out of the tutorial zone, out of the mountains, it's like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I agree. At first, when I first heard Arthur's voice, I don't think I was too keen on it either. But now, obviously, playing through the whole game, love Arthur's voice.
Yeah.
Good voice. Good voice acting from pretty much everyone. There was only one, it was like a side character for something that wasn't important, but there was only like one voice actor that I was like, this kind of sucks. Like, this isn't a very good.
Was it the Steamboat Assistant dude?
Oh my god, it was the Steamboat. Kyle was
Yeah.
there. It was just like a Steamboat assistant that you just speak to. Like, it's not even for a quest or anything. You can just talk to him. And he was not a good voice actor. There's a reason he was not a named character.
Yeah.
And it was just some dude. But that was like the only one. Everyone else, including like little random characters, were really good.
Was it the? It's one of the train. You know how there's like 2 or 3 voice actors for the guys who work on the train ticket booths.
Yeah, speaking of which, one of those is an achievement hunter guy.
Is it?
Jeff Ramsey is one of the guys. He and also the dude who runs the hotel in Valentine.
Yeah.
That's Jack Patillo. He's also an achievement hunter guy. They're
Really?
both in that game.
'Cause
Yeah.
I remember that standing out to me like, oh, this random NPC, he sounds really good.
Yeah, Jack Patillo and Jeff Ramsey are both in it, and Jack Patillo is the Valentine hotel dude. I know when I first heard it, and he was like, "How can I help you today?" I was like, "Is that Jack Patillo from Achievement Hunter? Excuse me?" And then I went to go like pay a bounty, and Jeff Ramsey was like, "Well, you did bad," and I was like, "Excuse me, Jeff from Achievement Hunter? You can't patronize me."
Is that
Jeff-
Griff?
It is Griff.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's how I know them. I know them as the red versus blue people.
Yeah, it is
Is the
Griff.
only way that I know them.
I don't think Jack Patillo is in
He
Red
may
versus
not be
Blue.
because that
Actually,
doesn't sound familiar to
I
me.
think he and Jeff are the 2 founders of Achievement Hunter, and Jack Patillo is like one of his best friends. And I don't think Jack is in Red versus Blue though. I think he joined a little bit past Red versus Blue's founding, or he wasn't part of the Red versus Blue thing. He's more Achievement Hunter related.
I will
But
pick
it was
out.
nice.
Yeah, I could pick out Griff, Sarge, Simmons, Donut, Church, Tucker, Caboose, Doc. That like every one of them, I can get a handle on who they are just
Yeah.
hearing them immediately because I've heard them so much.
That makes sense. But it was really just a pleasant surprise because Valentine's like the first town you go into.
Yeah.
And I went in there to get a bath because I don't like Arthur being dirty.
I didn't either.
I'm very like, I use hair pomade. I make sure the clothes are always clean and stylish. Like, I keep them all good looking.
You gotta
He's
keep
all
that
like
cowboy dog dressed.
well trimmed. He's got a nice little handlebar mustache and he's clean shaven besides that. So like, went to take a bath and it was Jack. And I was like, oh, this is awesome. Oh. It was a very nice, pleasant surprise to start the game. After the very long prologue, which was my main complaint with the game, the prologue was just so long.
Yeah, that's one of those games I can understand having a long... Because normally I'm like, do not show me a tutorial. I've been playing games longer than most of you have been alive designing them. I just want to play the game. I don't want to go through tutorial zone. Usually my least favorite, but that game kind of needed it because there was just so many systems, and not all of them got a tutorial.
Yeah, it did need it, but also I was like, this is such a long wind-up.
Yeah.
Set me free. I hate games that are like open world and free roam, but like they have that time where you're not allowed off the rails, and the whole
Yeah.
time I'm just like, set me free, set me free.
Yeah, I do remember that being kind of an
Feel
issue because
caged.
it's like, I could go down there right now, but I can't.
And also, like, whenever there's missions where Dutch is like, loot the bodies, son, and I'm like, okay, and I loot like 2 bodies out of like 50, and he's like, hurry up, join back with us, and I'm
I was
like,
just like, I'm
you
just
told
loot
me
all
to
the
loot
bodies.
the body. Oh, I keep looting the bodies, but like he's yelling at me the whole time. Like I'm looting everybody, like he said, and the whole time he's like, son, you're taking too long, get back here, and I'm like, Dutch, I'm getting
tits.
money.
If more people show up, we're fine.
Dutch, I can kill more people, and I will get more loot.
I need to sell all these belt buckles and wedding rings.
I must sell all these gold wedding bands. But that's honestly about all I've been doing. I come home from work and I play Red Dead Redemption 2, and then I go to sleep.
I'm excited for you to start Final Fantasy X.
I know, I do need... I'm almost done now. I haven't even touched the online mode, which I think you can make your
Don't.
own cowboy in.
You can, but
Honestly, I'm just going to play it to make my own cowboy. I want to make a cool cowgirl, and then I'll probably just stop there. I just like character creation.
yeah, I made a cool cowgirl too, and then I got in the online world. I'm like, this is all right. This is boring.
Yeah, I'll probably do it just to make character creation, and then that'll be it.
There's a story mode and stuff. There's like a storyline and quests.
On online?
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's more than just like an open world kind of thing, but
That's
at the same
pretty
time,
cool.
it's just like,
That's not too shabby. I'm worried that I'm going to walk in and a random person's going to kidnap me and then I'm just going to be stuck on their horse for like an hour.
You're my horse now.
Because I got kidnapped in Minecraft when I played it online, and that wasn't very fun at all.
Oh yeah, I was with you with that. Too.
Kyle, yeah, that was the first time when we first started dating, we played Minecraft together, and we Skyped, and we were in this world where, like, if it's claimed by somebody, you're not allowed to break blocks on this world.
Oh.
And people lured me into this house with some steak. They dropped it in like a trail, like an ET style trap. I followed the trail of M&Ms, and they locked me in
Oopie's
and
candy.
just kept calling me a
Oopie's
pet
Oopie's
through
candy.
the chat. And
That is some creepy edgelord
Kyle
shit.
could not find me, and I was trapped there for like maybe a half an hour before we just gave up and quit out of the game. They kept me trapped in there. It was awful.
That
So
reminds me of like stories of what was the game called? It was like a survival game.
I know what you're talking about.
You could see dicks. Rust?
Maybe
I think it was
Rust.
called Rust, where like you start out on a server, it's PvP, and you start out and you find rocks, and you just gotta like hobo murder bash people in the head with rocks until you can like craft better stuff. But people would build like prisons and be like, "Oh, give me all your corn and get in this prison."
Well,
Ugh. But yeah,
it's rough. People sometimes just go crazy in games, and I'm like, I'm
I
just trying
guess.
to have fun. I was just trying to play with my new boyfriend in a Minecraft server, and I was trapped and made a human pet by a couple people. And I was like, well, this is happening, I guess.
yeah. I remember when that one guy, you know that guy, he rented out a Minecraft server, and we used to try to play. I don't know. I mean, Minecraft was fine and all. It's a good like I just want to play with some Legos, but I don't know. Playing with other people, that might be more of a me thing because I rather play a solo game than a multiplayer game.
Problem with me is that every time I get onto Minecraft, I simultaneously forget every single control that exists in Minecraft except how to move. And I'm like, I don't know how to place a block. I don't know how to drop a block. I don't know how to switch inventory. I don't know how to even open my inventory. What's happening? I cannot for the life of me remember. As soon as I get on it, it's gone. It's blanked from my brain. And I'm like, all right, I'll just stand here.
I guess I'll die.
I hit flowers and I put them in other places, and that's like it. But yeah, Kyle, what are you doing?
What?
That's all I'm doing. What are you doing?
Oh,
Oh,
look at my notes on.
Oh, yeah, let me check these notes.
You
He's
surprised the
opening
boy.
a notepad.
The memory of a squirrel. Yes. Haven't really been playing a whole lot. I hopped back into Smite a little bit. Used to be really big into that a few years ago. Started playing it a little bit more.
Oh, yeah, I saw you playing Smite today.
Yeah.
Can confirm. Kyle has been playing Smite.
Yeah, third-person perspective MOBA, kind of like
It's like League.
League. There you go.
what's League?
But,
League of Legends.
What's
And-
League Precious? That's a joke for
He
two
knows
people
what
in the
League
world.
is.
But yeah, I was playing some Smite. There was a lot more gods released for it than the last time I'd played. A lot more changes made, but it's pretty much the same game. It's a lot of fun. You're gonna check it out. It's free to play for the most part.
It's a great way to stay in shape.
Yeah.
I used to like League of Legends so much, and I played Smite like a couple of matches and could not get into it.
Really?
Did not enjoy it.
I used to be really big into playing like Fable 2 a lot, and it was like the same perspective as like Fable. So I was like,
I
oh,
guess
man, I like that a
so.
lot.
Yeah, to sort of. I would have not have likened it to that.
I like it. It's a little bit more immersive to me to be like have the third person perspective than to be over top of them and like click 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 click.
I do
here,
like the
Yeah.
third
click,
person
here.
perspective because if you're going to put time into character, like make a character model, I want to see the most of it.
Yeah. Plus, you get to actually like control their movement with like the WASD keys, and
Yeah.
instead of just like click go here, click go here. It's
Yeah, third person is definitely the best. First person is a close second, depending on the game.
IMHO. It's the best.
What?
I don't know. I really like the whole top-down clicking things, like a Diablo-style clicker. I
Yeah.
feel like because you can auto-path so many things with that. It's like, okay, I know that my champion runs at this rate, and I want to be here in this bush when this guy's coming here. So you kind of have to like dance back and forth a bit, and then when he finally hits that point, you jump on him or whatever you're doing out of the thing. So, like, you click a lot to course correct. There's like even some champions in there that make fun. It's like, you only need to click once, fool. I think that's Mordekaiser does that. It's pretty good. Terrible Mordekaiser impression, but really used to know a lot about League and fell out of it probably 3 years ago. So the entire game is different by now. Item builds will no longer be viable. Items will not exist, and new ones will exist to fill the places of new stuff and make a new meta. So there's all of that.
That's the thing about Smite is that like I hadn't played it in maybe about 2 years or so, and all the items I used to use are still like pretty much viable. Like a few things changed, a few things were added, but for the most part, the core of the item builds were pretty much the same, really. So I got to play with like some of my old builds I used to remember and whatnot. They added a lot of cool new gods and stuff. Jormungandr was one of the ones that was added. He's like the biggest god they've added in Smite.
Is he a snake?
Yeah, he's a big old snake dragon thing, and his perspective is like way up above the other gods. He can't be like CC'd. He only takes he takes extra damage instead of being CC'd, but he's got like a lot of slow movement sets. Yeah, I'm not gonna get too much into it, but it's
interesting.
It's a lot of fun. It's a free to play game. They have a lot of like stuff that you can get like cosmetics and stuff like that. But
yeah, that's how they make their money.
Yeah.
I mean, it's purely on skins.
Yeah,
So
you can't play like all the gods whenever you play too. There's like a free rotation of like the gods every week.
Yeah,
but you can pay like $30 and unlock like all the gods as they come out, which I did a long time ago. So yeah,
League does not have a season pass to my knowledge. It did not have when I played it. But
theirs is like indefinite. Like if you pay $30 for it, you get all gods unlocked that will ever come out. So I paid it like whenever like my first month playing it, and because it was on sale for like $20 or something like that. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. I enjoy it.
Very neat.
I think the other one I was playing too was Risk of Rain 2. If it
Oh
came
yeah,
out.
we played that just a little bit.
Yeah, you weren't too big of a fan of it. You didn't like roguelikes very much.
No, about how long were we in that second place?
I was cool. We
We were in like the second level, and we were there for like a half an hour of the 45 minutes that we played. And after a while, I was just like, well, there's nothing to do here.
Risk of Rain 2 is kind of weird because it's like the levels are like the same between the things. It's like the spawning of the items is what might be different between like the different levels and whatnot. So like the levels aren't randomly generated; they're like structured and designed. But there's something every time you join into a level in Risk of Rain, you're like a person that like crash landed on this alien planet, and you've got to fight off like hordes of these enemies while you're trying to find the teleporter to get to the next place. So it's called Risk of Rain because there's like a rain of enemies and ooh.
I see, because I just kept killing the same things over and over. I was like, are these ever going to stop spawning?
They do not. They just get worse. Like the whole thing about Risk of Rain is that the difficulty isn't timed to like what your difficulty is when you set it when you go in. It's just how long you've been playing the game. So like the longer you go into the game, it goes from easy to medium to hard, and like eventually like the thing keeps going on like the difficulty track, but it just says ha 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 ha. Like the game's like laughing at you.
I see.
And it's just they just spawn ridiculous enemies that you can't beat at that point. So you got to try to like go through it as quick as possible while trying to find as many power ups as you can on the map. But you got to have money to get the power ups. So you got to kill dudes to do it. But you got to find teleporter together quick. So yeah, it was. I think it's a lot of fun. Like the first one wasn't a 3D game; it was like a 2D game, and it was like really pixelated. But I played it a lot with one of my buddies like back a couple of years ago, and I've been having a lot of fun with Risk of Rain 2.
It is kind of like those zombie horde things, except I don't think there's a break between. There's not like a break.
Oh no,
between
he's just
you
fighting
get
the
to,
entire time.
fix the
Yeah.
windows and get your BAR more got bullets.
No,
Yeah.
it's like nonstop enemies coming at you. Deal with it. Get
Okay.
good scrub kind
Yeah.
of thing.
You have like a bunch of different characters. They all got like 4 different abilities.
It's first person?
That's third person.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I can imagine like that would work well as like a top-down kind of schmuppy kind of thing.
It's got really fun little graphics to it. Have you seen the game Astroneer?
No, yes.
It looks like Astroneer.
I
in
owned
that
Astroneer for like 30 minutes, and then I realized I wasn't going to play it more than this initial playthrough.
I own that game. It's not too bad.
It's not bad.
It's really good. It's kind of like a chill game, I'd say. Like I just don't like playing games on PC very much. I'm not a big keyboard girl, but
Getting a controller.
yeah, I
just
should.
plug
I
it in
what I
absolutely
do.
should. I feel like I would enjoy it a million times more.
Yeah, I only
was-
play Risk of Rain 2 with a controller now.
I was
mean,
born on WAS. I will die on WAS.
League is the only thing I ever played with WASD. I don't. I just because that's pretty much necessary. But anything else, DDO, Final Fantasy 14, straight controllers, Joe.
Well, 14 would be a nightmare on a keyboard too. Like I think people just default to playing that on a controller, from what I understand.
Do they? I don't know. I never asked anyone.
Because Pat from Super Best Friends, he uses, well, R.I.P. from Castle Super Beast, he plays it with a controller.
Okay, yeah. It works really well with a controller.
Absolutely
you end up
does.
with 16 actions.
Because it was designed to, right? It was a PS2 or PS3 game before it was a PS4 game before it was a PC game. Right?
No, it was designed to coincide with PC and or PS4.
Because that whole thing was like the servers were for both PC players and PlayStation players, right?
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure they cross-platform. I think I've played with people who are on PS4. You can see whenever you're playing with someone from, because they'll do different servers. You can do matchmaking.
Yeah.
There'll be a little like parentheses thing that has their world on it, like where they're actually from, like Coral or Midgard somewhere, or I play on Adamantoys, so I don't see most of the people that I see is from Bahamut or is it Bahamut? Maybe it's Midgard and Coral that I see most often. I know Bahamut's one, but I don't know if that's a legacy or if it's full, because they fill up some of those worlds and they make some of them. If it's like a particularly empty world, they'll offer XP bonuses for starting a character there.
Yeah,
So
I
you
remember
can-
Warcraft did stuff like that too. Try to migrate from higher trafficked, populated servers to lower ones.
From what I understand, the one I'm on is on a somewhat lower populated, but still not like underpopulated. I'm
Man.
gonna fact check myself on that, as a matter of fact. But,
Thumbs up to anybody still playing World of Warcraft. You're the true heroes out there.
Man, I put so many hours in the World of Warcraft.
That was the game I put the most hours into that I never got anywhere with, because I would always like, I'm level 30, I'm really tired of playing a rogue, let's try a druid.
Oh boy.
Oh, I'm tired of playing a druid, let's try, I don't know, a priest.
Yeah.
Like, I could just never
Well,
focus.
that's the beauty of Final Fantasy XIV is you want to be a healer right now, put the stick in your hand. You want to be like, I want to be a goldsmith, put the hammer in your hand. You don't have to change characters. It's the same fool. He just picks up a different tool and does the different job.
That's a good design.
It's fantastic.
I like the design.
Use that
Like,
word
I
too
like the
much.
little bit that we played. It's just, I'm past the point in my life for an MMO.
It is
The-
completely cross-platformed, whether you
Awesome.
are PS4 or PC.
Oh,
That's what I
that's
thought.
really nice. Most games are not.
The Warrior through and through.
PlayStation
World
3
of
as well.
Warcraft.
It was on 3. Huh.
Yeah, I think...
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think it
I
started
didn't
out
think it was
on
that
3.
old.
I think there's some fools still playing it on 3.
They may. I mean, it works. The only drawback, I think, was... I know they had their first launch on 3, and that was like the comedically bad launch. Like, this was going to die immediately, and they fixed it.
Yeah.
And they, like, actually fixed it, which was wild. Because normally when something comes out and it's like, I don't know, like the levels of Duke Nukem 3D or whatever that game was. What's the one that took like 12 years to come out? Some Duke Nukem game.
Duke Nukem Forever.
Forever, yeah. Took forever. Anyway, yeah, that never got fixed.
Yeah,
But,
it was
like,
just bad.
Final Fantasy XIV got fixed, and it's like incredible to see such a turn.
Hey,
So-
that harkens back to the old Danism. Danism? We're going to call it a Danism.
Danada?
Hey, just wait. Just
For
wait.
what?
Just always wait. A game comes out, just wait.
Just
Never pre-order. Never
remember
buy
how
in
Fallout
early.
76 turned out?
Yeah, you'll get a Fallout 76
Isn't
more
it
often than you'll
78?
get a good game.
Wish I would have listened to that logic with Anthem.
Always just wait.
What? I'm having a great time. Oh, that's another thing I forgot to bring up. Anthem released a new Stronghold.
Oh, nice. Is it fun?
It is really enjoyable.
Yay.
The Anthem has
It'll be fun eventually,
unfortunately-
probably.
Yeah, Anthem has unfortunately pushed off the big act that was going to add a lot of new content to the game indefinitely. They're not sure when they're going to be able to roll that out. Probably like late May or something.
That has killed so many people's faith in that game.
Yeah, unfortunately,
I didn't know it was
is-
indefinite.
It is very low content, but
Indefinite meaning that they haven't given a date for
yeah,
Mm.
indefinite, like not like forever.
That's still undefined.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. But they did actually get to release a new Stronghold recently. That means there's only 4, and one of them is literally just the last main mission over and over again, unfortunately. But it is really interesting, and it looks really good. I do enjoy the new Stronghold. It's very pretty, a very interesting theme, very interesting and unique, like, new end dungeon boss, which I will, of course, not spoil. But, it's not bad. I wish they would add more content because I do really enjoy that game and I would like to play more of it. there's just nothing more to play except
Yeah.
do the same exact thing over and over
That's
again.
my problem with
like
it.
I've got a very powerful javelin dude. I've got a lot of good like power-ups and weapons and everything, and I'd love to be able to play more. It's just like there's really nothing to do right now. Like it's just, what am I gonna do?
Hopefully I'm sure they invested enough money into it, and I think it made enough back that they'll at least be like, you know what, BioWare, you're not dead just yet, but you will soon, because we're EA, and eventually everything dies that we
Yeah.
buy.
Yeah, I just wish they would put more effort into Anthem. They
Ye-
just pushed it off. They said they pushed it off because they had so many bugs. They were so focused on fixing all the bugs, and it's like, maybe you should have actually tested the game before
Yeah.
releasing it instead of using free test labor from the people who bought it.
Yeah.
Should have postponed release.
Mhm.
That beta, not the beta, the demo that they came out with should have been a beta or an alpha, maybe at that point.
Could you imagine
and
that
that
didn't-
should have been like a closed alpha thing, and they should have put some.
They
A
could've
lot of
just-
coulda, shoulda, woulda with that game.
Postpone it to the holiday season. That seems like the
Yeah.
right time to release that kind of game.
Oh, they probably needed all that time too.
Just
Yeah,
polish what
it
you
just-
had,
it
get more
sucks.
content.
It sucks that there's so little content. It really does, because I'm really enjoying the game, and I love being able to fly around, and I love all the different like weapons and power-ups. Like, I really love it. It's beautiful. It has so much potential, but they just really quickened that story to where it was done instantly, and there's just no content.
I'll tell you
There's
what
nothing.
though, I'm gonna get my fill for a looter shooter this fall whenever Borderlands 3 comes out.
Yeah.
I'm hyped for that.
Oh,
Love
What are you
Borderlands.
guys going to buy it on? Because we need to play it together.
Uh,
Play through it together.
PS4.
PS4 probably
PS4?
because that's what
Because
we
that's the
all
only
got.
thing I have.
That's what we got in common.
Yeah.
All right.
Perfect.
You don't have. What are you talking about? What are we going to play this on, guys? I don't have an Xbox One. What are we going to do?
Well, I didn't know if like there were. You know what? That was a dumb question.
Oh,
That was a real dumb
Yeah,
question.
get bopped. You know what? I
Oh,
ain't
no.
even. I ain't
Oh, no.
even mad.
Man.
You get wrecked.
hey, talking about hostility, I just looked over at Kyle's
Wait,
notes,
what?
and for some reason it says "F-U Rainy."
We'll
on
get
it.
to that.
What?
All right.
Oh.
Okay.
We'll get to that.
All right.
That's,
Cool.
that's
Glad
part
that's
of-
a note.
That's part of some stuff that we're gonna go over.
Some
You'll see.
stuff. That
You'll
sounds
see.
serious.
Spoilers.
Stay tuned, everyone.
We made it 4
Alright.
episodes, and now we have like 8 reasons to end it. Ricotta, Paul Blart Mall Cop, and Die Hard being the same movie. Now F
It
you, Rainy.
is. It is the same movie.
I am
Yes.
so mad.
Before we
Why
get
does
back
this
into that
make
again, I got
anger?
one more game I want to go over,
All right.
and that is Magic the Gathering.
Ooh.
I haven't played Magic the Gathering consistently for a very long time. I used to be really big into it. Now the only thing I do is pre-releases. When they come out with a new set, they have like this big midnight pre-release event, and like the next day in the weekend they'll have some more pre-releases and stuff. You get like this big pack of cards, and you just make a deck with whatever you got, and you sit there and play for like 4 or 5 hours, something like that. And I went to a shop in East Liverpool called Critical Games and Hobbies and played
Name
up there
drop.
because I won a little contest thing where I had like a $25 in store credit. It was free to get in there and open up and whatnot. So I went up there and played, and I got to shout out to them. Those dudes were really cool. Everybody there is super chill and nice. They gave out pizza to everybody that was there. They gave out like a free promo and stuff.
Pizza.
And they gave out a free pack of sleeves to everybody for their decks that they were going to make too. Like those guys are really cool and chill, and that's like one of the best game shops I've been to. And the whole event was real nice.
That's where we went to play our Warhammer Escalation League.
Yeah, we played a
real
big
impressed with that
Warhammer
shop.
league up there. It
It's
was
a bit of a
real
ways,
fun.
but yeah.
Yeah, it's like an hour away from us, but still, like,
Doesn't have the con stank.
it doesn't. It
Yes,
smells
that's a
good.
very important point. It does not have the nerd stank.
Very
And
nice and clean
it's like
store. No
right,
stank.
It's right next door to a Chinese food place and a Papa John's. Blech. But if you went to
Yeah.
Papa John's, it's there. Blech.
Dare you?
Fuck
Why
you,
do you?
Papa.
Why are you against the Papa John's?
I mean,
Lumpy
he's
Space
a shitty
Princess
dude.
worked
Oh, no.
at Papa John's. So
oh, I thought she worked at a Domino's.
no, Lumpy Space Princess worked at a Papa John's.
Oh,
Yeah.
Maybe
so-
someday you guys will unlock the lore of
Papa
LSP.
John's
I will
is-
eat. Okay. Night in the Woods had the best bit of all time in it. It was just this little like
The
2D
pizza scale?
cutesy, like a indie game. But one of the characters was like, "Here's the pizza scale. On one end you have the best pizza in the world. On the other end you have the worst pizza in the world. And anything above the worst pizza in the world is still really good pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Papa John's is not the worst pizza in the world.
that's pretty good.
I will eat it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Papa John's isn't my favorite either. Pizza Hut's my favorite.
Yeah, ditto.
I'm a big Pizza Hut lady. I just got Pizza Hut the other day. That's stuffed crust, baby.
I'm with Hannah on that. Their sauce is a little too sweet.
They're the only place that has stuffed crust. And stuffed crust is
They
delicious.
put a patent on it.
What?
They put a patent on it.
Good on them. They were smart to do that. They made the smart choice. They beat everyone else to it because they're
It's a
smart
greedy
and
choice.
it's good.
If they were really concerned with the well-being of pizza everywhere, they would open that patent.
Why don't you
Why would
just stop
they-
shopping at Walmart then?
Yeah.
Like, why
would
don't
they
you just
be
get right on there if
concerned
you're gonna
about
be
the
on-
well-being of pizza everywhere? Why would they?
If you want
They're
to get on
concerned
people for,
Pizza altruism.
you know,
Please. They're concerned about the well-being
That's the
of
name
their
of this
pizza.
episode. Pizza Altruism.
That's silly. Pizza Hut's delicious. The Pizza Hut by our house sucks, unfortunately.
I was
the
a
Pizza
baby
Hut
in that
closest
building.
To us, really.
I was a fetus in that building.
I'm pretty upset that it's such poor quality. Like, the people there are just kind of jerks, and they always fuck up the order. Like, pretty much every time I've ordered pizza from that Pizza Hut, it's been fucked up in some way, which is upsetting. It's like going back to an abusive spouse. I love Pizza Hut so much, and it is the best pizza, and I will still order there knowing something is going to be fucked up. Like, I still go. I'm
Still
still
worth it.
there. I'm like, hey, please, Pizza Hut, maybe you'll do me right this time. I would like this. And they're like, nah, you're going to get this instead. And I'm like, okay, thank you.
Thank you, Pizza Hut.
But yeah, that's pretty much all I played.
So, is this the first Magic release that had like a CGI trailer with it? Because I saw
they've
that
had-
trailer.
They've
and
had
it was
CGI
good.
trailers and stuff before, but not one quite like this quality and like the music in the background
It was
stuff.
really good.
It was really good. Yeah, this is this newest set that came out was called War of the Spark. It's been like story wise of like the sets that come out. It's been a culmination of like the past like 4 or 5 years of sets of story, and it's I could go into like all the details of stuff and whatnot, but like pretty much every character that has appeared in all the sets from like the past 5 years shows up in this set as a card, and it's really cool.
is it all the way? I think it starts at Return to Zendikar, whatever the expansion was where they went back to Zendikar.
Yeah, Zendikar I think was the block before.
Or
where
is
they
that
started counting
after
the story.
Innistrad? Because they go back to Innistrad too, and I forget which direction that
Zendikar
goes.
was before Innistrad. Like,
Okay.
The Return to Zendikar was before the Return to Innistrad. And I think it was the set after Return to Innistrad that they started doing like the big setup for like the story and everything like that.
Right, because that finishes out the whole Eldritch Eldrazi thing.
Yeah, that was like the big end of the Eldrazi storyline. Which there's still a bunch of bits of story in those blocks that make it into this one, like characters and whatnot.
Yeah, that's you have. Well, that would be all the way back even to the Gatewatch
Yeah.
in Ravnica.
Which actually I think that would probably I would be with you. I would start the Zendikar block as like the start of the story because the Gatewatch, like the superhero Planeswalker squad that starts up there is like starts up in the Oath of the Gatewatch set, and they're pretty much the ones that are like, we'll defend the multiverse from evil and
Yeah, to protect the world from devastation and all
Yeah.
that jazz. Yeah.
to unite all peoples within our multiverse and all that stuff.
On a side note, why is Team Rocket bad?
What?
They're trying to kidnap Pikachu.
But like
They
their
do
motto
steal
though, to
Pokemon.
defend all people within our nation.
well, their
Within
nation.
their nation.
Okay,
Their
they're
Team
just
Rocket.
nationalist. I mean, not white
Okay.
nationalists.
Yeah, all right.
Uh-huh.
They're
Yeah,
very
sure.
patriotic. They're about protecting. You
They're
know
all
what?
Patriotic
about
to the crime
stealing other
syndicate they're a part of.
Pokemon.
We're Team Rocket and we fight for what's wrong, for mayhem and madness and rare Pokemon. You be
Right.
quoting
Just make
to
that
be
up.
a master over here, yo fool.
Damn.
They're pretty bad. I mean, they try to be bad anyways. Jesse and James are pretty sweet. They're always really nice to the Pokemon that they own. Like, they always love them.
Yeah.
Except
About-
for, like, maybe Wobbuffet. But he's a little annoying. But
Is that a
they're
new
re-
one?
That's
No,
Wobbuffet.
Second gen.
They have
Wobbuffet.
them.
So it's a new one.
He's a walking punching bag.
Anything over Gen 1 is new and bad and should be
Alright.
shunned.
Oh man, Silver was good. You gotta give Silver credit.
Twas.
You gotta give all of them credit. I love every Pokemon. I even love the Garbo Pokemon. I had him on my team.
Garbodor?
The one that's just a trash bag.
Yeah, Trubbish
Yeah,
and
I had him
Garbodor.
on my team. I like Trubbish.
Yeah, you could do. Has that stockpile. You can do stuff with that. Like he'd be good on
Yeah.
a Trick Room team.
I don't mind Trubbish at all. I like all Pokemon. I'm of the people that are like, give me more. Pop out some more Pokemon.
Yeah, I'm actually like that, but it's just a bit I've been doing for so
I
long
see.
that I love it.
I
Like,
can't
it's a
wait
bit
till-
for me.
I can't
Man.
wait till they start releasing new Pokemon for Sword and Shield.
Yeah.
I want to see the evolutions of the new starters, and I want to see more Sobble. content because I love them.
Put your
And
bets
I
out
wanna see
now.
more.
What the subtypes of the 3 starters are going to be now, folks.
Yeah.
Man, just give me that Geodude. That's all I need. Me and Geodude are gonna win this
Which
thing.
Geodude?
Just
Which Geodude?
there's more than one. There's only one Geodude.
No, there's 2 Geodude forms.
How are there two? What's the other Geodude form?
The Alolan variant.
There's
There
not
is
an
he
like a
Alolan
grass
variant.
There
Geodude?
absolutely is.
I'm pretty sure
gets little
there
hair.
is an Alolan
Geodude gets little hair.
Yeah, he's got little hair on his head.
Is it like a mohawk?
I'm gonna
No.
It's not a
Alolan
mohawk. It's like a
Geodude
it's
right
like a
now.
dual. What is it when you have 2 hawks on your head?
Oh, that's pretty rad. Is it kind
He's
of like,
got, like-
Machamp with his little like bone?
No, it's little
things?
hairs. Little tiny hairs growing out his head.
You are doing me a fib, sir.
No, look, she's already on it. Fact check Rainy over
Yeah,
here,
there
already
is.
getting.
Rainy.
Oh my god.
So while Rainy is fact
Yeah,
checking,
there is
Yeah.
an Alolan Geodude.
He's
Hold
got
on.
eyebrows.
oh, he's a cool guy.
Yeah, see, there's that. There's
Okay.
an Alolan
He's a good
Graveler and there's an Alolan
There's
Golem.
the two of them beside one
Oh,
another.
they're the best friends. Just
Yeah.
look
Oh,
at them.
man,
Just
they're
being
all
buff boys.
great.
Yeah, there's an Alolan Geodude. There's also the Alolan Diglets that have the little.
Yeah, they have like little
wigs.
hair,
no,
like fancy blonde wigs.
That's why I love it, but why?
I mean, one of them kind of looks like a He-Man.
Yeah, Alolan
Digging
Golem's
man.
crazy
Yeah.
looking. He's like some kind of like arc reactor looking fool.
Yeah, it's
He's
that
rock
trio's a
electric.
messy one.
Like, you see, he's got like the big old mustache and he's got like the 2 arcs on top of
Wait,
him.
I'm
Oh,
sorry.
it's so
How
good.
am I just learning about this?
I
You
don't know,
played
you
Sun and
played
Moon, right?
Pokemon
I played
Sun and Moon.
I never saw a Alolan Golem in
That's
my life.
insane. I
Yeah, he
can't believe you
exists.
didn't. They're
Rock
just
Electric.
there.
Electric's one of my favorite types.
Yeah, he's cool.
Rock is
Yeah,
my
I'm
type
shocked
for life.
that you didn't know about this.
I don't know. I didn't
Geodudes
know
were like all over the place.
that. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
You know what Geodude wanted us to talk about next in our podcast?
no.
The topic of this episode: our reactions to Geekend.
Many a Geekend was yelled.
Yay.
Geekend.
Grah!
So, first off, you guys like it? Did I do
I
a good
loved
job?
it.
Yeah.
Dude, it was such a good time.
Didn't want it to end.
You did a great job building that cabin and locating it out in the woods.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Next to that scenic lake.
It cost me hundreds
Full
of
of
thousands
alligators.
of dollars to build that cabin, to get the permits.
How
to
much
get
did
the-
it cost for every horse?
Oh man, the horses were like.
Total
how much
horse
is a horse?
Total horse count 57.
There were so many horses, and not like real horses, just like this cabin. Whoever owned this cabin were very, very into the equine.
Yeah,
Love
lots
it.
of little horse sculptures, lots of little horse pictures.
And a couple titties.
Figurines. There
Eight-
were a couple tasteful titty pics
They were tasteful titties.
on the walls. It was pretty nice. There was a naked nun riding a horse
I did not see
So
that
yeah.
being
one.
pulled by a clawed nun. It was pretty
Tasteful
good.
titty equine cabin.
So, shout out to Canadian Valley Realtor, Mountaintop Realtor, the realtor company that rented the house out. It was in the Timberline Resort area. It was fantastic. We were right on like
Sand
the
Run Lake?
shoreline for a little tiny lake. We could see like the ski tracks out in the distance on the mountain.
There's a
Beautiful
big,
place.
beautiful window.
We were like, if you're familiar with West Virginia geography, like across the little valley from us, like probably less than 3 miles was the Dolly Sods area.
It was the ridge right
Solid odds.
outside of our bay windows. Was like the ridge that we could see was Dolly Sods.
Pretty
Solid
cool to
odds.
look at that ridge too, because it's like regular trees, and then there's just a long line of pines at the very top of the ridge. That was just like a wall on top of the ridge. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, we had the 4 of us on the podcast right now. Secret 5th member Hannah, Secret 6th member Gunman, and Big Boss. And there was plenty of room for all of us.
Oh my god, yeah. There's plenty of room for all 7 of us for sure. It was a really good time. The shower was amazing.
I didn't take
Top-down
a shower
showers.
there. Or shower in your shower. I took
Yeah,
a shower in our shower.
our shower was great.
Wait, you
One of
didn't take
those
a shower in the cool
top-down
shower?
I
waterfall
wanted
showers.
to. I forgot though.
Man, that was
It
so
was
good.
Was
so
your shower
good,
different?
dude.
Yeah, I just had like a tub shower.
And you
Remember-
waterboarded
You like
yourself
barely
on
didn't have a
accident?
room.
Yeah, Big Boss waterboarded me a little bit.
You didn't even have a door
It
to
was
your
a lot.
room.
Yeah, it was a whole corner of the house though that we never went up.
I mean, I guess. I don't know.
So yeah. So how do you want to do this? You want to do a day by day, or just like talk in general about what we did?
We can do it, talk in general. We can do
Yeah,
day by day.
I don't know.
whatever.
How are you going to do day by day? We just did
Because I don't
stuff.
really remember details day by day.
Neither do
Yeah,
I.
I
I
don't
got
either.
drunk
It's
a
all
few
one
times.
thing.
I threw up twice.
You did throw up twice.
Woo.
I was quite
Busted
proud.
some blood vessels in my face. Throwing up so hard, but I do that really easy, so don't be worried, audience. That's just a normal thing for me.
We go ham on Geekends here.
Go hello, Geekend.
Yeah, we got A little bit of, like outdoorsy stuff done down there.
Yeah.
I brought up my bag of axes and knives and sharp objects and stuff. We threw like the stump.
That was
One
a
of my
good stump
favorite
to throw things
pastimes. Throwing sharp objects at wood. It's fun. We did that for a bit. We did some hiking. You and Gunman and Big Boss did some hiking a little bit, didn't you?
Yeah, we just walked around along the trail. It's like a nice little
Nice.
grassy trail.
Hannah did some painting, wistful painting.
Oh, she did.
I didn't get to see the painting, but I'm sure
I've
it
seen
was
the painting.
very
It was
wistful.
pretty good.
Nice.
I never got to see it.
Nice.
We,
Sorry. Sorry, wait, no.
I never got to see it.
Wait, no,
you never
sorry,
will.
sorry,
Nice.
I didn't get to
You don't
see it.
deserve to see that,
I
sorry,
didn't
you
get to
scrub.
see it either. She's always real like shy about showing
Is
paintings.
she? Really?
She's pretty shy about showing a lot of her paintings,
no
especially
idea.
to
I've seen a
Kyle.
ton of them.
And she'll show them to me, but she's very shy about showing them to like Kyle and everything. Of course, she shows them to you. You're dating her.
I'm too much of a critique. For
But I mean,
paintings.
how did you be? I don't know.
You're not.
It always really surprises me whenever I look at something that someone has painted, and I begin recognizing what the shapes mean. Like, oh my goodness, this is just somebody drew a rectangle, but when you zoom out, that rectangle forms with this triangle and this circle and makes this shape, and it looks like a tree and a thing on a hillside. I'm like, how did that happen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
That
up
is
close on a
harsh.
painting and like the leaves and the trees are just like
Did you,
somebody took their brush and just like dabbed it onto the canvas.
Yeah, did you ever watch PBS as a kid? Watch
No.
Bob Ross?
No.
No.
It's a good time if you want like a good relaxing YouTube trip, but it's basically like Bob Ross just takes his brush and just stabs the canvas a little bit with it, and suddenly it's a tree.
You gotta get some liquidified.
Yeah, it's like when I look at a portrait of something, I'm like, whatever, yeah, portrait, I get it. I can see that. It's like whenever you have to trick your mind to understand what you're looking at in a drawn piece of artwork is what throws me off from
kind of
it.
like more abstract stuff. You mean?
Not even abstract. It's like something that I clearly understand. When I look at this picture, this is clearly a mountain with trees on it. But like when I look at it, I understand that it's not a mountain with trees on it. It's a paper with colors on it. But then like you understand that this is a mountain with what? Why are you saying what?
I'm very confused. Well, yeah,
I
that's
get what he's saying.
That's what drawings are. I'm
Lines
missing
and shapes and
something, I
patterns.
think. Am I
Yeah, but that's
missing
all it is.
something,
But
or
then
am
it's
I
a
also-
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not.
It's greater than the sum of its
Yeah.
No,
parts.
no, I get
Emergent
exactly.
properties.
That's just like every drawing, though, right?
I don't know. That's how I see things.
Like, when you see like 3 ants walking around, it's like, oh, there's a couple ants, but then you look at the colony, it's like, oh man, this is an organism that's like getting all this stuff around here and like farming.
But those are real ants.
Yeah.
This would be like if somebody took things that weren't ants and made them look like ants.
Yeah.
And then you understand that it's not ants, but when you look at it, you think it is.
Sculptures.
Ants or
Robots.
not ants?
So confused. I feel like I'm
confused.
having
I'm trying to go along
stroke.
No, I get what he's saying. Like, you're saying like these squares and triangles on this
Right. It's all you see.
are just squares and triangles. But let me just make the mental shift in my mind. Now I'm
let
seeing a tree.
me let me go out of focus a little bit.
Yeah.
I'll snap.
It's like those CNI video or those pictures that were really popular in the 90s where like I couldn't do it because my eyes were
I
crossed.
know exactly
but
what you're talking about.
But
I
people
tried
see
to get
sailboats.
Rainey to see one of those recently.
can't see
I
those.
didn't
You
get
can't
that
see it
one.
either?
I
It's
can
my
see
eyes.
like
Really?
90. I
Yeah.
can see like 90% of them, but the one he tried to show me the other day, I was like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, dude. That's just some dots.
Cool.
yeah.
I did not get the one he tried to show me the other day. Like I usually get it pretty quick, but I was just like, you're lying to me. That's not a thing. That's not a thing at all that you're trying to show me.
But yeah. So Geekend though,
Uh-huh.
there was no seeing iDot paintings there, other
We
than
weren't seeing
Other than all the
iDog.
horses everywhere.
there was
There was
little
a
toy
painting with
horses
18
too.
horses on it alone.
There was
There was
a lot of
a
horses.
lot of horses.
So many sculptures, so many paintings.
Right.
This person was
There may
into
have-
horses. They also had a big cowhide rug, which I've never actually touched one of those in real life. They're not even comfortable.
No.
What's even the fucking point of them?
Because
It's
It's just to
Cowboys
be like, we
parking
killed
only.
a cow. Look at
Right.
this. We skinned a cow. Isn't that cool? That's
Yeah.
got to be the only point because it was not comfortable. It was not even thick to where it like provided some cushion.
Yeah.
It was
Nah.
super thin. I could basically feel the floor perfectly underneath
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And also, I was like, I'm stepping on cow skin.
Yeah.
It's just for the looks, I guess. I mean,
There-
you're
That
gonna
was
kill the
it,
cow for meat
yeah.
anyway. Might as well do something with skin.
There may
Yes.
have been crimes committed. Maybe, perhaps, perchance.
Oh,
One
I
crime.
didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Wait,
A crime.
Crimes in this
The
cabin.
what?
A,
crime?
a victimless crime that no one will ever know, hopefully.
No.
Oh,
the
that
the
crime.
Ritter
Yeah.
crime.
that crime. Yeah.
What do you mean my crime? I committed no crimes.
No one committed any crimes. No witness, no crime.
I guess,
He had his bandana up.
I guess you're right.
Red Dead
What do you
rules.
mean? I didn't
always
commit a
forget to do
crime.
that. I always
Who
did
committed a
wanted-
crime?
Why do you think I committed a crime?
You definitely committed a crime.
I committed no crimes. I wasn't even close to the crime.
The crime was happening over there.
So confused.
We played. We didn't get as many games in as I thought we would initially, but that is totally fine because
Yeah, like 5 or 6 in, and they were pretty big games.
Yeah.
A lot of them that we got in.
The first one we got in was Secret Hitler. It was the first time I'd played that before.
First
Same
time
here.
I played it as well.
I thought it was gonna be bad because of the subject, the
Yes,
topic of the game,
absolutely.
but it was a fantastic social deduction, social manipulation game.
Liberals
it
are
was
OP.
so much
Liberals
fun.
OP.
It was so much fun, and I am a very loud person, and usually in deduction games and like trying to figure it out kind of games like that, I just yell and accuse, and I got to do that. That's pretty much all I do, no matter what, whether I'm innocent or guilty, or whether I'm just like in real life at the grocery
when we're
store.
playing
I'm
Fake It.
yelling and I'm accusing. Like I play when we play Faking It as well. Yes, I'm a big yeller and accuser, and most of the time I am right, including in Secret Hitler when I called the fascists in Hitler. Right, every single time.
It was
'cause
like
Rainey
within
be
5
yelling.
minutes of playing, you're like,
You
I
just
see.
randomly
I
pointed at
know.
somebody like, "You're Hitler and you're a fascist," and you just happened to be
how
right.
It is. I know what's up. What do you want? I'm a master of deduction. Call me Sherlock because I'm a master of deduction.
I feel like it's one you'd have to play a few times to really get the rhythm down of what you're supposed to do when you're on what side.
I'm
Yeah.
telling you, Hitler has to be the most liberal of all time.
Yeah,
he's gonna
that's
have to play
probably
that
it.
liberal game, I think. No, but it's super enjoyable, really fun. Definitely went in skeptical with the whole Hitler theme. I always expect it to be unnecessarily edgy, and I guess this could have had a different theme, but it
It
didn't
could've.
bother me that it was like it was. I mean, it was liberal versus Hitler, kind of like democracy, kind of voting thing. It was really enjoyable.
If,
I enjoyed the game.
If I was in a different reality where the life plan would happen and I would end up being a history teacher, that's one of those games I would bring into the class if I'm teaching World War II,
Yeah, I
teaching
agree.
the Weimar Republic.
I think that would be a good game to for children to play. It's not that it's childish or anything like that, but it's simple while also being a lot of fun that any age could play it. Like this is a game that a family could play together and it would work out, or it's a game that a bunch of like mid to late 20s, early 30s people could play in a cabin together.
Drunk.
And kind of drunk, kind of half drunk, half sober, and still have a really good time with as well. It's a very versatile game, which I enjoy. There's a nice simplicity to it, but while also still being a lot of fun.
The rules and the theming definitely don't bog it down. Because I thought,
No.
like, if they were going to swing for the fences with the Hitler motif, I thought it was just going to be Hitler in your face 24/7. Like, this game is about Hitler. We are edgelords.
Yeah.
But it really wasn't. Like, it was subtle. It was like,
Yeah.
They
it was
downplay that fact that you don't want to know. People know that you're Hitler. It's kind of a bad thing. Like you see that you're Hitler once, it's like, oh crap, what am I going to do?
oh crap, I
Yeah.
didn't mean to.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like it's actually
Never asked
has
for this.
pretty
And the,
much nothing to do with Hitler at all. They really just borrowed his name for the concept of the game.
The artwork on that game is fantastic.
Yeah, especially
by the
the
way.
edition that you
Artwork
had,
is
Redder.
cute.
That was a beautiful.
In the box
That's
art
the
with
base edition. That's what if you buy that game
it's an
anywhere,
older game,
that's
though,
it.
isn't it? Like I thought it had like just like simpler ones with like cards and stuff like that.
No, that's the one.
Really?
That's it. That's
Oh,
the
okay.
original, the general, whatever you want to call it.
Huh, okay.
And I've been thinking, what other theme can you put it into where you have a thing where you have a series of elections?
You could have it just like a general like democracy like sort of election, and you're trying to figure out who like I don't know. Let's make it
make
a
it
Cold
Russian,
War.
so now it's
make it a Cold
yeah.
War. Like who is the secret Russian?
Who's the
politician?
communists in
Or
the government?
even,
Who's
like-
McCarthy?
Yeah,
Where's
you
his
could do a
list?
McCarthy
Or
theme on that.
even you
It'd be
didn't
the same
exactly
thing.
need
It would
a
be, but
name
it wouldn't be Hitler.
because I mean liberal didn't. None of the liberals had a name. It could even just be the big bad is called dictator.
Well,
or
it
something
doesn't
like
carry that
It
same
didn't
weight as the
especially
person-
Have to be.
It doesn't carry that same weight as the person being Hitler, though.
You know
Like,
what?
I mean,
at
I'm
the
not
end of the
saying
game,
it was bad. I'm not saying the theming like was bad. We're saying that the theming of it originally set us off from playing it earlier.
Yeah.
Not that
I'm
once we played
surprised.
it, we were like, oh, this game could be better without Hitler. It's just the fact that it was like Hitler game and it's called Secret Hitler. threw me off from playing it earlier than we did, just because you kind of expect this kind of like edginess or
See,
this
I don't know-
unnecessary like kind of shittiness to the game, just
That threw
because
me off of it.
Hitler.
I don't know. I don't understand why you're getting that image out
Well,
of it.
okay,
Yeah, a lot
because
of
this was
games
like
are like
5
that.
years ago or 10 years ago, it wouldn't have bothered us. But since, like, not to get too political, but
This
things have been
climate.
getting pretty fascisty out
Hey,
there. in
this
certain-
climate, am I right?
I guess I don't pay attention, or I'm
Yeah.
just too used to every single anime villain ever being
No,
Nazis.
that's fine.
So-
But like lately, politically in the U.S.
Yeah.
in the 2018, 2019 U.S., there's
I
been
don't pay
like
attention.
yeah,
No, I pay attention a
But-
lot. I think it's important to keep up on the news for myself, at least. Not for everybody, but for myself. I think it's important for myself to keep up on the news and what's going on politically, especially since I'm very openly a specific way in who I am as a person, politically and otherwise. So it's important to me that I stay informed if I'm going to have such a strong viewpoint, because if I have a strong viewpoint but I don't know what's going on, that's just an easy way for the bad guy that I'm fighting against to be like, you don't even know what you're talking about. You're clearly wrong.
I will
And so
die
I
in my
gotta
ignorance
stay.
of not even knowing whether right or left is what. I
Mm.
still like it's been explained to me 7 times, and I actively try to forget because I
Alright.
do
not
not.
a bad
Very well.
strategy.
I don't know what it is because what am I gonna do? I'm just a dude.
All
I
right.
just look at
Here I
the
am.
ratings of Secret Hitler on Board Game Geek. I'm like, yeah, I need to play that.
Yeah,
Anyways, back to Secret Hitler.
Yeah,
it
it's
was
a
really
game.
enjoyable, though. Like, putting all that aside, it was a really enjoyable game. I liked it a lot.
Very
think
good,
it's better
solid
than
social
Werewolf.
deduction
I think it's
game.
better Werewolf. It's definitely better.
It
Werewolf.
is.
I'd say it's better Werewolf too. Werewolf is too quick too, is my problem.
Well, the edition I have is One Night Ultimate Werewolf.
Oh.
Like,
Yeah.
The normal Werewolf is supposed to be played over like a course of a few quote unquote days.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't realize there was.
I
It's-
one
remember
that
when
had
we
more
used to
than-
play Mafia, which is what Werewolf was
That's how
based off
Mafia
of at
works.
like church
what
camp.
what was the game you used to play?
Town of Salem is an online game that is pretty much the concept of One Night Ultimate Werewolf, except the bad guys are the mafia. Except there also is a werewolf character.
That's regular Werewolf. Honestly, that really is regular
Oh,
Werewolf.
okay. That was enjoyable. Kind of got ruined because it's an online game and there's a chat box and people are terrible.
Yeah,
but
they are.
I did enjoy playing that game for quite a long time. I used to play with Kyle when we first got together.
Yeah, it was a fun game. Yeah, but I mean that is just a completely ripped off 100% Werewolf.
That
Rethemed
makes
and
sense,
But yeah,
Neat.
that night though, after we played Secret Hitler, we played first game of Twilight Imperium, first game and only game of Twilight Imperium at the cabin.
Did play
Yeah.
Twilight Imperium.
Yeah.
I felt bad. I really felt bad
Yeah,
that
we
didn't
had to cut
finish
it off
because we
short.
started way too late,
Yeah.
and we were I was a little too tipsy to continue.
Yeah.
We started at
But
like 8:30
it
or
had
something
the
like
greatest story of any game of Twilight Imperium we played so far.
that. Yeah.
It
So
was
Kyle was
really
playing
I
the
don't.
what?
I'd forget completely. I have no, and I was sober. It's
You were
just
playing the
gone.
science guys.
I was the science
You were
guy.
Jonar.
Kyle was evil robots.
Necrovirus. That was me.
Necrovirus.
The biggest
Rainey
counter
was the
this
barony
side.
of the
Barony of Letnov.
Barony of Letnov. So like the faction with the strongest destroyers, right?
The faction that re-rolls
yeah.
their
Yeah,
misses in
reroll
combat
faction. Reroll faction
and
was real
extra
good.
fleet.
And I was
Super
Khan,
war.
the trade.
Yeah, you were the trade cats.
I was
Very
just trying to
much
keep the
powerhouses.
galactic economy healthy.
Hmm.
Like I was role playing, so I was just like, you know what? I might not win this game, but I'm gonna make sure that our economy is great and we all have plenty of money and consumer goods going around.
Gunman was also like the human, like the Terrans.
Yeah,
I
he
don't know.
was. Oh my god,
Yeah,
I forgot
yeah.
the gunman. Jeez.
Necrovirus.
I'm sorry, gunman.
Yeah, it's he kind of just stayed in like his own part of the galaxy and just
Did.
didn't really did his
Well,
own thing.
we
really.
also
Yeah.
didn't realize that he didn't have planets. That
Yeah,
he
we messed
conquered,
up
so
and
he had
didn't
no
hand out-
resources.
Oh
We didn't
yeah,
hit
There
up
was,
the player
Oh,
numbers.
really?
That table might have
Yeah.
been a little too long
yeah.
for Twilight Imperium.
Necrovirus was really interesting to play though because they can't research any technologies. You get like one technology to start out with. You can't research any others. The only way to get technologies is to destroy a ship of some other player on the board, and you get one of their technologies. You just get to steal it. You
True.
don't steal it. You just gain it for yourself.
I
But
formed an alliance with the Necrovirus and gave
Yeah.
them some of my technologies by allowing them to destroy some of my ships, and then I betrayed you at the very last minute.
Played
Technically, I
me
would have
like
won
a
that game.
Yeah, you
fiddle.
won
Yeah.
that game.
I
Like,
definitely had won that game when we decided to quit. Like the turn before the last turn, we were like, "All right, we're gonna go ahead and call it quits. But Toads My Goats won that game by utilizing Kyle.
I was in the lead for so long in the
So
game, and
long.
then like at the last minute, Rainey comes up and like shoots right behind me. This is why I had "F you, Rainey" in my notes because
Oh.
you did this in Twilight Imperium. Like, oh, we'll just have like a little alliance thing. I'll let you feel like you're winning, and then just shoot up from the lead in the last like 5 minutes of the game. This also happened in our game of Scythe as well.
You did. Trust
Yeah.
nobody, not even yourself.
We played the first game of the campaign of Scythe, which we unfortunately have to restart because we did it wrong, which is a shame because I fucking, by the skin of my teeth, once again, gypped Kyle and won at the very last moment with a really good big score, real hype. It is unfortunate we have to restart, but these things happen. And It'll be
Yeah.
nice to play it.
We did the same
right
thing
way.
with Gloomhaven.
Yeah,
We
we
started
did.
a campaign at Gloomhaven. We haven't had a chance to talk about it yet. Maybe on the next pod we'll go more into it because we're gonna play the second game tonight after the cast.
Yeah.
I think.
Okay.
We'll get some dinner and play.
Get dinner.
But
and play.
Food.
that campaign
I am a
system
fat
for
kid.
Scythe though
It's
is
fun.
fantastic.
Oh my god,
'Cause,
so enjoyable.
like I was pretty handily in last place most of the game. I wasn't playing my best, so I was just trying to like, okay, I need as much money at the end of this game because that transfers over in between games.
Mm-hmm.
You can buy perks and stuff for your faction for the next match.
Yeah.
Like start out with more workers on the board or more mechs.
Mhm.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
It was. Yeah, I'm a little heartbroken because that's probably the best I've ever done at Scythe. But
You know what? I was thinking
hopefully I'll
next time we restart
kill
though, you should get like an additional like influence or something since you won that first game.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh.
Like that way it's fair. Like you
Oh.
clearly won that game. We just
Yeah.
messed up like
Oh.
an important. Well, we don't know if it's important because
yeah,
Scythe's real
we're
mysterious.
not sure,
but
it's better
Very
to be safe than
mysterious.
sorry. No, last game Kyle was super ahead. He
That
had
was-
it in the bag. He had 5 out of 6 stars. He was just setting up to get his last one. In the last 3 turns, I got like 1 star real quick, and the very last turn, right before he would have ended the game and
You got,
won,
like,
I
3
got 2
stars.
stars in 1 turn by double combating after Ritter and Dan had just gotten into some hefty combats with each other.
hey, we needed some
And
stars.
drained themselves of any of their power. I swooped in, defeated both of them, got the last 2 stars I needed.
I told you all to
and
retreat.
Wrecked it.
Told you all to retreat.
So,
Ooh,
what
so
Scythe
good.
is, real quick, for
Right.
people who aren't familiar, it is a worker placement game that involves mechs and mech combat, where
Is it worker placement?
But your workers
Yeah,
can
you
fight.
have to move your workers around and get resources to make stuff and everything.
I think it's more territory control.
It's
might
territory
be.
I think
control.
it's
yeah.
both.
It
It
might
can
be
be
both.
both.
Territory control, action point allowance, and tableau building is what I would classify it as.
Yep.
It's like a cool alternate universe where mechs were created pretty early on in kind of like a steampunk era.
like
And
post
they
World War
just-
One.
Yeah, they just kind of became an integral part of society for both agriculture and war, and kind of kickstarted a war. It's interesting because the Scythe campaign, of course, added a big story to it, which Kyle read to us before we began.
I think
with
it was like 6
Nikola
pages.
Tesla.
It was 6
It was
pages, yeah.
pretty long. It was. I
good,
like how
though.
they tied in Tesla, and there's a factory in the center of the board that you can go to and kind of get a new action from. It's a 1 action per turn kind of thing, like stuff like that, and you can get a new action from the factory, and it really tied that together really well. It was really well done the way they did the story and kind of introduced and tied a lot of stuff together and explained a lot of aspects of the game. It was really, really enjoyable.
Yeah, like the thing I like about Scythe though is if you produce on your turn, the resources stay on the board
Hmm.
rather than go into like some nebulous like interdimensional pocket that no one else can like interact with,
Yeah, and somebody else with their mechs can walk up on you and like take him resources away if you're not careful.
and they could just
There's
use them.
also there's also like different things you're trying to build up. Like there's a popularity that you can either get popularity or lose popularity. Actually, one of the ways you lose popularity is scaring workers away with like your mechs. If you, as a mech or a leader, like enter a space with a worker, they're going to get scared away and you might get the resources, but you're also going to lose popularity, and you get like a victory star for getting full popularity, and there's a power meter and stuff like that, and each faction is kind of like its own country and has its own little special power up and different shape mechs and everything. It's really interesting.
Good minis, good
Good
like
minis.
even like the little meeples for each of the different factions are slightly different.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Like it's just a really good game.
all around.
absolutely.
But yeah, we played some Scythe. We started the last expansion pack, which is a legacy style,
The Rise of
Campaign.
Fenris.
Yes.
which is also fantastic so
Fenris.
far. We're one game in though, but it
We're
looks like
not
it's-
one game in. we're
Negative one
We're
out of
0
10.
games in. We're negative 2 games in. We gotta start over. Gotta go back, Marty. Your kids.
It was like the next day, I think I was making breakfast for you guys. You guys played a game of Seven Wonders.
Yeah, Seven Wonders is a fantastic little tiny deck.
Fantastic game. You know how many times you've said fantastic? You're going to have to get a counter and get yourself a clicker because it's been like 10 times in the past
Also, I was
3
asleep.
sentences.
Fantastic game.
I didn't play Seven Wonders. I sleep in. I'm the one who sleeps in the most at
I am the
Geekend.
one who knocks.
I
Sorry.
am the one who sleeps.
I like to sleep in. I don't know what you want from me, but I didn't. I got up at maybe like 10:30 each day, and honestly, that was early for me. And these motherfuckers were open, just full awake at like 7:30 in the morning, and I was like, "What the
Crack
fuck?"
of bone.
Oh, guys.
I was like, I'd wake up at 10:30 and I'd be like, "Oh, hey, babe, what'd you do?" And he's like, "Went on a hike, did some throwing, made some breakfast, played
Fought
a
a
full
bear."
board game, went and did this." And I'm like, "What the fuck? It's 10:30 in the morning."
Had a cathartic moment outside looking at the sunrise.
Yeah, I'm like, "What the
Gotta
hell?"
have that moment of sunrise.
No, absolutely not. I slept until 10:30 in an incredibly comfortable bed with the
Those
most
beds were comfy.
wonderfully plush covers ever, and enjoyed some restfulness. Especially since we like stayed up till like 1 or 2 in the morning
Hell
a lot of
yeah.
the nights.
Yeah.
Like we'd go to sleep at like 2 a.m. drunk, and at 7 they'd be up, and I was like, "Excuse me, no,
Sleep is for the weak.
no,
I
that's
didn't go
insane."
to bed drunk. But
Well,
I still,
yeah.
have you ever tried to sleep with Hannah? She just gets up and she's doing stuff, and you gotta
Oh,
wake
Hannah
up.
wakes up super early. I know. I used to sleep in the same bed as Hannah for. I used to spend a lot of time at her house, senior year of high school, and we just shared a bed together. And she'd wake up at like 6:30 in the morning. She used to go to bed at like 9 p.m. back then. She'd go to bed at like
That's a
9
good
p.m., wake up at like 5 or 6 in the morning, and she'd just leave me there to sleep. And she'd be like, "I brought you a cheese omelet," and I'd be like, "Thanks, I'm gonna continue sleeping though."
Well, I am sensitive to people moving around me when I am asleep. So if somebody gets up, I'm like, huh, what?
I wake up for like a sec, and then I can instantly fall back asleep.
Happy
I'm
what
very
indeed.
good at immediately going back to sleep. So
Yeah.
it doesn't really bother me that
Big
much.
Boss and I, like, we were at the point where, like, Big Boss could be doing jumping jacks in the bed and I'll still be asleep.
Kyle can whisper in my ear on accident.
I have a tendency to talk in my sleep, and it's
I'll be
freaky.
asleep.
It's weird.
I will wake up from that, however.
Yeah. I think the next thing we played was a game of Betrayal, like in the afternoon of that day.
Betrayal at the House on the Hill.
I played with the new expansion that came out for that. It was the Widow's Walk, I think is what it was.
Yeah.
Very
What did
good
it even
game.
add? Because I didn't notice anything.
was
It
some-
It's
different.
just a bunch of new
bunch
scenarios.
of new rooms and a bunch of new scenarios to it.
It adds the roof as a level to the house.
Yeah, we didn't
which
actually
we
go
didn't
up
get
there.
to
Oh.
explore. We didn't find
So
the way
Big
in.
Boss really liked that game.
Yeah. It's really enjoyable. I love exploring new rooms and kind of building your own little house like that. We did kind of get a jank scenario. There's like a lot
That was
of
a bad
scenarios.
scenario.
Yeah, it was
but
real
There's-
bad.
There's like a lot of scenarios. And unfortunately, some of them are very OP either towards the trader or towards the other people playing, and we just got one that was really OP towards the trader and a
Yeah.
little janky. But Betrayal at the House on the Hill is a bunch of you go into this house and you have different stats like sanity and speed and strength and stuff like that, which can go down or up depending on what you interact with certain scenarios with. And you just explore this house room by room, and some rooms have items in them, some have events in them that can affect your stats or health, and then some have omens in them. And once you reach a certain amount of omens and you can't outroll the omens, you trigger a hunt, and depending on the omen and the room, it activates a specific hunt. And there's like over 100 of these
Yeah,
hunts.
there's a ton.
So there's a lot of scenarios, and the person who either the person who interacted with it or the person specified by the haunt is now a traitor and fights against the rest of you. It's very interesting because you all get in on the same team and you don't know who is going to be the one to betray you. So
Everybody
Yeah, it's
betrayed
random
me.
based. It's random, like based on the scenario. Like you'll pick up like the statue in the theater or something like that, and there's like a whole big grid on like the little rule book you get, and it says like, okay, the statue on the grid is scenario 87, and you go look at that, and it'll be like the traitor is the person second from your left or something.
And they have
Yeah.
to go in a different room, and they read their scenario, and the other people read their scenario, and you try to kind of figure out a plan to do what you need to accomplish. In this one, I ended up being the traitor, and I was like an exorcist trying to exorcise the ghosts, and the other players became the ghosts. And it was them trying to like kill me while I was trying to steal an item from each of them, and take it to a room that had an omen token on it to then exorcise their spirits. And I had to do this one by one, and it was a whole thing. Unfortunately, like I said, I was super OP.
Yeah, there was like no way for us to win.
Impossible
Yeah.
for you guys to damage me.
Yeah.
It was insane how weak they made the ghosts to where it wasn't even a chance of them even slightly damaging me, really.
I looked that one up online afterwards, and there was a lot of people that complained that like out of all the scenarios that came in the expansion, like this one was particularly bad at being like completely one-sided.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we got a little unlucky with
Yeah.
that. But
Like 1 out of 100 scenarios, and we got that one.
but
Yeah,
I still
but-
really enjoy the game.
Yeah, it's still a really good game. It's a classic.
It's been a while since we played it. We there was this game shop here in town, and one of the guys we met there, Ritter and I met there. This is the game he would bring out every time we'd go down. So we just kind of got burnt out on it.
Yeah,
That's
I know
fair.
the feeling. Like back
But-
in college, there was like Friday nights was our game nights back in college, and this was the game we played like almost every other week, if not every week. We played Betrayal at House on the Hill, and I played almost every single scenario in that book, like the original Betrayal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I think enough times passed. Like I had a good time. Big Boss really liked it, which is
That's good.
which is also a good thing.
mm-hmm.
That's the thing about me is I didn't start playing board games really until I started dating Kyle. And it's not because I don't enjoy them. It's just because, I don't know, that wasn't really a thing that the friends I had were even remotely interested in. And it's not really something that I knew existed. As far as I knew, the board games that existed were like Sorry and Monopoly, and that was like it. So when I started dating Kyle and he brought out all these games and he had people to play them with and we started playing, I fell in love with them and I really enjoy them, and I've gone to conventions with them and I play them at least like once a week. I really enjoy these board games. So all this stuff is, I wouldn't say new because we've been together for like 3.5 years now, but pretty relatively new in the whole of my lifespan. So it's
Yeah.
really nice to be able to play all these games. I'm not really burnt out on a lot of games except maybe like Splendor and Catan at this point.
Catan's easy to get burnt out on.
Yeah,
Catan's
that's the
super
only
easy
thing my
to get
folks will
burnt
play
out.
when we
That's
go visit
all
them.
Kyle's
Yeah.
family will play, which kind of has burnt me out on it. But for the most part, all these games are pretty fresh for me.
Yeah, like I remember when we went to Origins last year.
Oh yeah,
Very enjoyable.
I was telling my old boss, like, oh yeah, he was like, what are you doing over your long weekend? You talking? I'm like, oh, I'm going to Columbus, Ohio to a board game convention. And he was like, a board game convention? You mean like Life and Clue? I was like, oh no, there's a whole tier list of games beyond that.
if only you
It's
knew.
hard
If
to
only you
explain
knew.
to a person. I always just go, no, more nerdy, complex board games. Like, I don't know how to really explain it. Because I get asked that a lot at work, too. They're like, well, we love playing Monopoly. And I was
It's
like,
like
no.
Here, start with Catan and move on from there. Here's your gateway drug. Here's your first hit. It's free.
It is not
But,
Monopoly. I do not want to play Monopoly with you.
Yeah, like a lot of people just they see like the Catan Monopoly level of board games, and they're like, oh yeah, I remember playing like every Friday night we'd play Monopoly with my parents at Scrabble or something. It's like no, my sweet summer child. And I am glad we were living through this golden age of board games, though.
We
Me
really
too,
are.
me
It's
too.
a golden age of board games and a golden age of podcasts.
Hey,
we
we
are.
got one of those. If you want to email us, you can send us an
Do
email
we?
at
Tablestopcast
When
at
did we get a podcast?
gmail.com.
Where am I? Is this a podcast? Am I being recorded?
Fourth episode of Tabletop.
You do not
Ritter
have.
finally learns that
you
he's
don't
been
have
on a
permission to
podcast.
record me.
no,
I
quick,
plead the
knock him
fifth.
out, knock him
I am
out.
not.
All right, it's fine.
So
I
we're
think
three
we'll
best
be
friends
okay.
who'd like to talk about board games, video games, and other random BS. I'm Dan.
Wait, have I been wearing a wire this whole time?
Wait a minute. This is going on the internet.
He's a phony. He's a big fat phony.
We put our podcast exclusively on tapes. Podcast on tapes. Is this joke funny?
VHS.
Call 1-800, not VHS, the little cassette tapes. Call 1-800-656-432 and get your 36.
No, that might
Cassette
actually be
tape.
a real number.
That wasn't
You
even a
can't
full
do that.
number, though.
Oh, man.
He left one digit out.
Oh, I
Tabletop
wasn't
cast on
counting.
Betamax only.
I'm not conscious, so conscience.
If you wanna spread our podcast, download it on a USB and drop it on the ground and write "Don't play me no matter what" on it, and the curiosity will kill someone. They will definitely play that on their
Nope, I
computer.
would
Get
see
an
that and be
external.
like, well, okay, put that away.
They actually did like a test over like a government facility where to test their security they dropped an unmarked USB in the parking lot in front of several government facilities, and like 60% or more of the time an employee picked it up and plugged it into their government computer that had sensitive information on it to see what was on it
So,
out of curiosity. And that could be us.
so if you work in the government and listen to this podcast, please put us in all the top secret files.
Yeah, put us in there. Just sneak us right
Just
in
sneak
there.
us right in there and we'll steal you a dog. We
So,
promise.
I'm just
No.
imagining somebody like taking an entire burlap sack of like 1 gig flash drives and just like scattering to the wind like seeds, and just sowing them like they would just like corn.
That's perfect. It's a
Podcast
perfect
growing real
plan.
good this season.
Might have found
perfect
podcast
plan.
harvest this year.
Might get 60 episodes out of this year's harvest.
I'm just saying, it's a perfect plan. Download it on a USB, drop it somewhere weird, but somebody will find it. Put us in a geocache.
Put us in a geocache and mark us
Never
porn.
thought about that.
Yeah, Marcus is
Don't.
Marcus is freaky porn, not
Weird
just
porn.
regular
If
porn.
I found that in a geocache, that's getting yeeted as far as I possibly can.
You are 1 in a billion. I would absolutely plug that into a library computer,
don't know
but
what
not
I
my
it
wouldn't.
is.
I wouldn't because
I would-
there's that one type of porn that gets the government to knock on your door.
You're
Aren't there, like,
that makes
several
me
types?
nervous.
There's that one.
There's probably
one?
2 types that are probably going to get you in a lot of trouble. There's one especially, but I can't imagine like the bug stomping porn isn't going to get you in at least a little bit of trouble for
You're gonna
watching
get
it.
questioned about that on a job interview.
Yeah.
So, you like watching cockroaches get stepped on? Are you really the best fit for Dan's accounting firm?
We
That's-
watched you
Dan Tech.
watch a woman in heels step on a bunny. That's not okay. We cannot hire
That's
you.
not okay. That would
That is
Oh,
a
that's
very
super
real
not
thing.
okay.
That is a very real
I didn't.
thing.
That bums me out. I didn't realize.
That is.
You said bugs.
I'm just actively sad
no,
now.
they also step on like small animals.
Nope.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna go back to being
Hey
unconscious.
guys, let's back out of this. It's
Unconscious?
sad.
Hey, I left a golden Jigglypuff Pokemon card in a geocache one time.
Oh man,
We should go geocaching.
we should go geocaching. I think that'd be fun.
Yeah, would be.
But
The only other
anything
thing
else
that
about
happened,
Geekend?
yeah, saving the best for last year. Ritter's D&D campaign.
Oh, that was so
Yes.
good.
Yeah.
We did
happened,
indeed
that's
play
it.
Ritter's D&D campaign. It's really fun. Tell us about it.
No,
a bit
it's
about it.
fine.
Ritter, tell us a
embarrassing?
bit about it.
modest.
No,
It was real good.
it's
It
was
fine.
really
It's
good.
very
It was
rough
really
thing.
Well,
good.
Fridge is not going to say anything about it because he's a big old embarrassed ball
Bear.
over there on my couch, laying there all embarrassed. Look at
Aw.
that embarrassed. Look at them
Ooh.
cheeks get red. Those cheeks are getting so
Oh,
red.
they're so
You could cook an egg on them
rosy.
cheeks.
Expression has
So
not changed.
rosy, so rosy.
But,
You pinch those little cheeks.
So
Yes.
we were playing a Bloodborne-esque detective agency campaign where we were investigating lycanthropes. It was a good time.
Lycanthrope.
Ritter did a really good idea about me cutting that part out because that was an awkward sound.
Okay.
So, Ritter did this thing where we would investigate this house, and he had an idea of where like the important bits were, but we would be like, okay, can I check this drawer? He's like, sure, open that drawer. Oh, what'd you find? Oh, you found a picture with the guy on it. What do you want to do? But yeah, it was like, because most of the time it's just like, at least in the D&D campaigns I've been in, it's like, I'm going to investigate this abandoned cabin. Let me roll the dice. Oh, I didn't get it. Let me roll it again. Oh, I didn't get it. Let me roll again. Oh, I got an 18. I see a secret door.
There's
This-
the Dan remix for all you out there.
Oh,
Oh, I
ding.
didn't get it. Let me roll again. Oh,
I didn't get it.
Let me roll again.
I rolled an 18. There we go.
Oh man, you're giving me bad ideas. This podcast is gonna be delayed because of these bad ideas.
That's
should
going to
be
be
the
the
intro.
intro song instead of that bump, bump,
The thing I made
Yeah.
in Garage, not GarageBand in 3 minutes. But yeah,
Oh,
that was a good campaign.
It was.
It made me really excited for more D&D things. I think this might be the year of mechs in D&D. Mechs,
Yeah.
giant monsters in D&D.
I like the character. I was playing like a hardened, I just want to get the job done quick and get paid, kind of like wizard lady. Pretty good character. Not my typical character. Usually I play like the super weird and overly bubbly characters, typically is my go-to.
Yeah.
Like trash babies, fun, like I like to search in dumpsters and see what I find kind of characters that are just weird. This time I'm going a little bit more like subtle.
Yeah. I played the charismatic talker guy. So I was playing him real prissy. Like there was a dead body on the floor and I didn't want to touch it because it was icky.
My character kind of evolved from my mood at the time. I was supposed to be like the leader of the group. I had like the most investigating skills and whatnot, and I just did not want to like try at the moment. So I was like the lazy dude who somehow got control of leadership of this group. I'm like, I don't want to do this, man. Go do this for me. Like I don't even want to investigate this, man.
Hannah played Buff Lady.
Hannah did play Buff.
Hannah loves buff characters.
It was Hannah's buff lady and Big Boss's shield lady, just up front.
Yeah. My God, does Hannah love buff characters? That's like her jam.
Yep.
She loves buff.
Gunman was Gunman, as is his bit in life.
Mm-hmm.
That is true. Gunman was Gunman.
It was a good time, Ritter. We
It was
all really
really good,
enjoyed
yeah.
it.
Very well done. Very like go with the flow, smooth, enjoyable. Not too like tight on the rules to where it's just like bogging and
Yeah, 'cause
everything.
when we play with that one guy, he gets a little bit too bogged down in rules lawyery.
Yeah, and that's no fun.
And that other guy likes to argue rules.
Yeah, the one guy that always tries to be OP with everything. Like, what do you mean I can't dual wield two-handed weapons? I should be able to do that.
Yeah.
Can't I
That
dual
kind of
wield
person.
dual longbows?
Like,
What if I dual wield my dual
you
wield?
always have that
I
kind
have
of person.
four longbows.
Why can't I quad wield with my feet?
It hurts a whole lot to
Can
pull
I
back all
cast a
four of
spell
these
to make me a
bows.
Goro so I have forearms?
Yeah, luckily we don't have that kind of person in this group that we were playing with. And we don't have someone who's so obsessed with rules that they bog everything down and demand checks for every little thing. And that's really nice to not have to deal with that.
Yeah.
That
I've never
other
had
guy.
fun playing D&D. Never have. It's just not something that's happened for
Did
me.
you have fun running it?
Running, it's fine.
Nice.
I just have never enjoyed playing it.
But we have
because of
fun
all
playing
these
yours, and we're looking forward to the next one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if you're running
absolutely.
it and enjoying running it, I mean, well, that's good at least. We're enjoying playing it.
I
You're
might
doing
have-
a good job.
I might have asked you off, Mike, once or twice, but your answers eluded me. Did you enjoy it when I was running the loop?
things. Yeah, loop was fine.
Okay.
I don't know if I would say I would had fun because we didn't really do anything.
No, not really. But that's kind of the
But
point of
yeah,
the
it's
loop
just
is
startup.
like
The
you're
role-playing
dumb
is the point of
kids.
it.
Yeah.
I guess
Yeah,
I
start
just
the
don't
beginning.
know. Playing pretend doesn't really appeal to me as much. I much prefer when there's a set goal and you got a puzzle and you're solving it. So, I don't know. You'll have that.
Nah,
Yeah.
not for everyone.
Yeah. Ate some weird meats.
Yep.
That lamb that Gunman made.
Oh, I thought you were talking about in the campaign. Yeah, we ate
Yeah.
weird meats in real
No,
life.
we did not.
So that lamb that Gunman made,
Yeah.
Big Boss
Gunman
made a
made,
stew out of
made.
it. That was really good.
Really? Nice.
Yeah, it's a
nice.
good stewing meat. It was nice and tender.
We ate some
Delicious
deer
lamb
heart.
chop.
That deer heart was so good.
Yeah, it was.
That was the first time I ever had like.
We grabbed it pulsing in our bare hands and each took a bite from a side.
Making a solid.
It was a bonding experience
But
for sure.
that was my first time having organ meat that wasn't like a hot dog or sausage or gross processed meat.
And
there-
Hannah loved it. Hannah liked it a lot,
Like,
surprisingly.
never-
I had the
liver?
gag reaction in my mouth because I was like, "This is a heart." Like I needed to get over that
Yeah.
weirdness. But once I did, it was so good.
I also had that. I only ate one piece because I also had that kind of like, I'm eating part of a heart.
I'm laughing because Kyle just had this smug country kid look. He's like,
Yeah.
"I eat organ meat all the time."
You
Kyle
sadist
is
lickers never eaten
Kyle
heart
is a
before.
countryman. Ugh,
That was the best look. You're like, mm-hmm.
so smug. No,
None of y'all ever ate tube of sausage made out of intestine before, have you?
I'm weird.
Now that I
I'm
would.
surprised that Hannah actually enjoyed it as much. She tried deer steak and she was like, "This is all right, I guess. It's not like great." But she tried that deer heart and she was like, "This is the best." Like she even said out loud, "This is the best. I
It was-
enjoy this the most."
Beef heart.
What?
It was Beefheart, not Deerheart.
Oh, it was Beefheart. I'm
Oh,
very
it was
sorry.
Beefheart, sorry.
I thought it was Deerheart this whole time.
Nope.
And I'm pretty sure Hannah did too. So regardless, good on Hannah for getting past that. But no, I thought it was Deerheart. But it was actually pretty good. Beefheart, not bad. I'm pretty sure we have... No, he gave us another heart at the end of Geekend, and it's in our fridge right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm telling you, there's a heart in our fridge.
Yeah, I forgot he gave me one of those, so I gotta
Gunman gave us a heart, and now we must do
Just
something
found
with
one.
it.
eat it. Feed it all to Hannah.
Yeah.
Feed it to Hannah. Hide it under the floorboards and hear the thumping of it keep us awake at night.
Oh, man, a Poe reference.
Man, you got me.
You got me. You got me with that Poe. That Poe got me like that.
Gotta flex the
Gonna
limited
get
knowledge I have.
Poe.
Man, high school Dan was rolling a Poe, but that's a story for another time.
Wow, what an edgelord!
Dude, I was such an edgelord.
You're an edgelord. Yeah,
You
that
don't
long
even-
hair.
Well, that was during the age of the edgelord being cool.
Absolutely. I was
I don't
in
think
middle
edgelord was
school at
ever
that
cool.
time, and it was all the rage. Edgelord was popular. Like,
Can
if
we
you
bring
were an
edgelord back?
I don't think I want to.
I don't
I don't wanna
it
do
back.
it either.
It's more
We
fun
need-
not being
All
edgy.
right, cool. It's
All
more
right,
fun to
back
be
down.
optimist and try.
So, anything else about Geekend?
I had a
Other
really
than it was
good
a
time,
good time?
and I'm excited to do it next year. And we're going to do it longer for next year if all things go to plan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Have time to
So,
hike.
we'll have
play
more to
games.
talk about.
Ritter and I were talking before mics were on, before you guys came, that we should have more of a structure next year.
Yeah.
So that's something we can discuss later on off mic.
Yeah, it's
'Cause
not necessary
There
on the
were
mic.
a lot of cool shops that
There
I
were.
enjoyed checking out. A lot of antique shops, which
Hey.
was a lot of fun.
Hey, if you're ever in West Virginia, check out that Davis and Thomas. Davis and Thomas. They're two different
But not
towns. One is
Dave
Davis.
Thomas.
The other one's Thomas. Hail Dave Thomas. Thank you, Dave Thomas.
Stumptown Ales and Davis's has got really good beer if you want to go check that out.
Oh man,
And
we
funky
forgot
shaped
to-
growlers.
we forgot to get a growler on the way out.
I got a puppet.
You did get a puppet.
I got a puppet while
I
we
made
were
it say
there.
real bad things.
Yeah, but
I
that
forgot
wasn't
about
him.
that
I got
creepy
a
ass
beautiful
tree
puppet of a
puppet.
tree, and his eyes move, and he's lovely and beautiful. It's a
not
weird
good.
thing about puppets, I guess. I'm really into them. Worth it.
Welcome to
It's-
our next podcast, the Puppet Cast,
Puppet Ghost.
where I mean, it's still a podcast, but we have puppets that are
It's
talking
just
in the
me
mic.
talking in my Trevor voice, which is
Yeah.
this is his voice.
Yeah.
That's it.
Trevor. His name is Trevor.
I guess that's all I've come up with.
I don't
so
know
far.
what this voice is. I don't got a name for it. Leave it
It's
to
a-
Trevor.
It's that one old lady that hit on Kyle.
Hey, young man, do you wanna?
Oh, you talking about the
You're
naked story?
fine, Draco. Oh, Draco,
Look
you're
at
just
hit
so
on
fine.
me, but I just accidentally saw her naked.
I just accidentally was peeping in the window. You know,
That's more tabletop lore for another future
Tabletop
thing.
After Dark.
Yeah.
table stop after dark. Oh, we can't have more podcasts. No,
Oh, man,
one's
that'd be
enough
great.
to edit.
Oh, okay.
Oh man, that's-
Maybe once we get a listener base.
Yeah. Hey, tell your friends so we can then fund a table stop after dark.
Hey,
Fun.
We
Jeremy.
can't do it with only 10 listeners.
Jeremy, I know you got some
Don't you talk
friends,
to
Jeremy.
Jeremy.
Jeremy's got some friends.
Stop talking to Jeremy.
Jeremy,
You don't know
Jeremy
Jeremy
Jeremy?
like that.
Jeremy, I'm going to come at you like this. Get your friends up on this podcast, Jeremy. I'm watching you. I watch you when you sleep. I'm like Santa Claus.
I can only
Yeah.
think of that Pearl Jam song right now.
If there's a day Jeremy starts listening to us.
Can't find a better man. Is that the Pearl Jam
That's
song
the
you were
Pearl
talking
Jam.
about?
No, Jeremy, but the recess ladies. Oh, God damn
And he
it.
hit me with a
Wrestle
surprise
with
and left
Jeremy.
I don't know what's happening.
My jaw left hurting. Something didn't give.
All right. Well,
Jeremy.
Even flow.
Daddy didn't
Don't you
give.
walk like butterfly.
Welcome to our Pearl Jam
Oh,
podcast.
we don't know. Boy, he chases them away.
All right, Ritter,
we
Ritter.
have to stop.
Copyrights.
We have to
Copyrights, Ritter.
stop.
I forget.
Ritter,
This
copyrights.
can't get you.
Welcome to
So-
Table Stop After Dark Pearl Jam edition.
All right.
Anyway, if you want to contact us, we have a Tumblr at Tablestop.
Jeremy spoken. I just remembered the song. I just remembered the song.
We also have a Twitter.
Yesterday.
It's Tablestopcast. We have a Facebook. That's Tablestop. Tablestop. Please email us at tablestopcast@gmail.com.
We'll give you a puppy.
No one has
We
claimed
will
that free
give you
puppy
a
yet.
puppy.
We don't know what
Sugar
form this puppy is
emailer.
in.
We have had no email.
Could be plasma.
as of yet.
Plasma
so
puppies.
hit us up, and the social media team, which is me, will probably respond. We'll definitely respond because I've got nothing else going on.
Yeah, we don't have lives.
I don't have anything going on. Hit me up anywhere. I'll respond to you. What's up? It's me, the social media team, social media manager.
The manager of social media here at Tabletop.
Hey, also
Tablestop.
follow me for sick memes and cats and puppies and all the other things you might want at my personal Tumblr, a little bit gay and more.tumblr.com. No dashes, no spaces, no capitalization. That's not even allowed in a Tumblr URL. But yeah, follow me.
All right. I think that was a podcast. You got anything to say, Ritter?
Okay, bye.